Where were y'all on the day that the Baltimore Ravens Super Bowl window officially closed?
I was at the crib, just chilling. You know what I'm saying? After a whole summer of everyone saying like, the Ravens, they're gonna do it. Someone saying that they're gonna do it, and it's over before it even started.
Like he doesn't like the Ravens either. Like he's not pro Ravens.
Me personally.
Any Ravens talk that came from you was always anti-Eagle, so I was like, yeah.
Was
it? No, it wasn't.
He's insane. They're
Yo,
crazy.
the voices in his head is
If
crazy.
he says that the Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl, that in turn means that the Eagles are not going to win the Super Bowl. So I was not trying to hear any of
The
that
demons they
propaganda.
create in their
That
head.
is crazy.
I was not
bro.
trying to hear
The
any of that
schizophrenic
propaganda.
lot that they are over in Philadelphia.
Yo, man, I can't wait till the day comes until like scientists are able to test every single Eagles fan's brain and come up with some phenomenon.
It's going to be horrors. Horrors beyond our comprehension. But like we talked about, we are going to talk about the Ravens going 1-3 to start the season. We'll talk about the Eagles remaining one of the only two teams to be 4-0. We're going to talk
Oh
about...
yeah, if your team want to make some noise, yeah.
We're going to talk about the Chargers. We're going to talk about what might be the end of the Chargers as real contenders due to injury. We'll talk about that. A slew of other games reacting to everything that we learned in week 4 of the NFL season.
Hell yeah, brother.
Who? So it's only right that we talked about the team that we mentioned at the start of this episode's cold open. Ravens versus Chiefs was the biggest game of this week. And I was going to say it didn't disappoint, but I think it actually did disappoint quite massively because the Ravens once again came out and laid an absolute egg. I kind of half jokingly said the end of their championship window just to be hyperbolic in the beginning. But it does kind of feel like it means a lot. And like, not to overreact any one game, any 4-game sample size. But it feels like it means a lot that we've seen 2 weeks in a row where this team looks completely inferior to one of the other top teams in the league they play.
Yeah, the championship windows, like that's obviously not closed because like as long as you have Lamar there, it's gonna happen. For this season though, like it's cooked.
It's not cooked, but it's shaky.
They're not.
It's on life support.
They're not winning the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I'm not saying anything definitive. But it certainly feels as close to panic as you could possibly be for a team that has a former MVP.
I don't know. I mean, earlier in the year to go ahead and have to face off against who they played, the Lions. Okay, they played the Chiefs.
The Bills.
And there's those. Say it again?
And the Bills.
And the Bills. Holy fuck, that couldn't be like a tougher schedule to go ahead and have off rip when you're trying to not necessarily figure things out as a defense because they are established. They've had this core for a solid minute now. But genuinely, I guess like in the fashion that they've been consistently going out is definitely like quite alarming.
Yeah. So for those who didn't see the game, they lost by a lot. They lost by so much that in the third quarter, Lamar Jackson tweaked his hamstring, and they deemed it not worthy of him to try to play through it because the game was essentially over. They were down by over 3 touchdowns. And this was, in one part for the Chiefs, a return to normalcy in many ways. Xavier Worthy came back, and the offense had more life than they've seen in the past year and a half, it felt like.
Yeah.
It felt like they actually had players that could make plays, could get open. Patrick Mahomes wasn't fighting for his life. I think Steve Spagnuolo coached his best game of the season so far. There's been some iffy moments, to say the least, with the Chiefs defense to start the year, especially week 1 against the Chargers. It was kind of a disaster class from Spags. Kind of a masterclass today in exposing Lamar Jackson and his weaknesses of him and the roster, which we'll get more into. And then on the other end, the Ravens defense continues to be soft as shit against the run, continues to be not as dominant against the passes we'd hope, continues to feature Roquan Smith getting picked on, continues to feature very little defensive pressure with Madubuike hurt, and offensively, run game continues to be kind of disappointing, continues to not provide enough help. Everything kind of falls apart when Lamar gets under pressure. It's just overall, there was really no silver linings for the Ravens and nonstop silver linings for the Chiefs.
It's for the Ravens. I mean, everything that like could go wrong did go wrong.
Yeah.
And all the issues that everybody like pointed to in terms of like why the Ravens would not win the Super Bowl, because when you looked at their roster preseason, everyone's like, yeah, like this team should probably win. They should either be in the AFC Championship game or they should be in the Super Bowl. All these things. And if you look at it from like a pure like intangible standpoint and of like the way that people were talking about the Ravens, it's like they just don't have it. Like they can't beat the Chiefs, they can't beat the Bills, right? They just can't get over that hump. You saw some of that early on, right? Where like there is this aspect where it does feel like dang, we just can't get by these other two quarterbacks, these other two guys in our conference. And there's that aspect of it. And then for all the reasons that you said, there's like the on the field stuff of this team just can't stop anybody. If you play the Ravens, you're going to be able to score 30 points unless you employ Joe Flacco. And so like you have that. Like you said, the biggest aspect is the fact that like offensively, the run game is so inconsistent.
Yeah.
And like I think you can see teams, especially early on in the season, you can see teams get away with some poor defensive performances if you have some wild, explosive, wild, consistent offense. And they just can't consistently run the ball, which is so weird considering that you have Lamar and Derrick Henry. But it's been very, very hit or miss. You're either getting a 60-yard run up the sideline or you're getting 2 yards and everybody's in the backfield.
Yeah. The Ravens rushing attack, they're 9th in stuffed run percentage, meaning the running back is getting hit at or behind the line of scrimmage, getting stuffed. That's incredibly high for a team that has Derrick Henry. In the past has had good run blocking. Not so much the case this year. You know, Ravens fans are talking about all preseason that Lele starting at right guard is a gigantic weakness, continues to be a gigantic weakness. They're 28th in rushing success rate. So it's not even just they're inconsistent, boom or bust in like a 50-50 sense. Most of the time, these rushes are not netting out to positive results. Then occasionally, obviously, they get the big burst runs because they have Lamar, they have Derrick Henry. But on a down-to-down basis, they are not staying ahead of the chains at all like they were last year.
So if that is going to be the case, and like you just have to be able to not give up 40 points,
Dude.
you know, and it's just not happening. And
Yeah.
you can say like, okay, yes, you played the Bills, you played the Lions, you played the Chiefs. It is what it is. The Chiefs coming into this week were top team in terms of everybody saying, oh, this team is like, they're on life support. Like this is, you know, a legit defining moment for the Mahomes era. And we've never seen this offense as bad as it is. And it's so broken. They just came in and scored 37.
Well, to be fair,
You know.
Xavier Woods did come back, which helped a lot there.
But even coming into the season, the big question was, can this team find its explosive? Can it find its identity? And you do have a Travis Kelce that is older. And so this other team that also hasn't been able to run the ball very effectively. They scored 37. They did what they did. Even against, like, if you want to chalk it up against the Bills and say, oh, well, that's Josh Allen. You were actually up 13 with 3 minutes to go, right? And you gave up an extra 14 points. Like, those are all things that are 100% preventable and were not able to be done. And so now you look at them moving forward, and it's very hard to look at them and find confidence because on the bare bones of like trench play, they don't have the guys. It's by injury or just by performance.
Yeah, the injury thing. Also, like Madubuike is an IR, so he's not gonna be there for 4 weeks. So it's not like we can just say next game they'll bounce back, they'll get healthy. They might not be healthy for a while.
Dude, they're cooks as of now because I just realized they have like now 7 starters out of their defensive unit.
Yeah,
and like they already weren't the best, obviously, with how many points they gave over the first 3 weeks, and going into yesterday's game, obviously, like they got shot in the fucking heart with a ton of darts and shit. And so, with that being said, I feel like Ravens fans should allow themselves a chance to breathe because over the next few weeks, the next few games, they have the Texans, the Rams, Bears, and the Dolphins. The Rams are the Rams, of course. Super Bowl contender for sure, just like them. But outside of that, they have time to breathe and time to go ahead and like actually like realign themselves.
Yeah. They could be back to 500 by week 8, is what you're saying. Because they have some easy games coming up to offset the ludicrous schedule they did have to start the season. So that is part of it. Not every top team is playing for the top 5 contenders to start the year. So that is just tough, and the injuries are just tough. So part of it isn't necessarily enigmatic of them just being completely terrible, like the 1-3 record suggests. There is some context there, like both of you said. But also, the underlying weaknesses are there. So even if we know they'll get back to 500, they'll win their easy games, they'll get healthy to some regard, they're still so starting from such a low point right now that even if they get better, bro, they are 30th in EPA per rush right now defensively and 24th in EPA per pass. You are just moving the sticks on them constantly, staying ahead of the chains. EPA measures how much each play on a per play basis is adding towards points. Every play is adding towards points of them. They're not creating the chunk plays on defense to put teams behind the sticks and get them in difficult situations. It's a very low pressure game when you're playing against the Ravens defense.
And that's exactly where I want to be at. Like next week, honestly, that's gonna be one of those games or one of those moments where it obviously, like, if they lose, it's gonna be pretty much like a nail in the coffin, like going down 1-4. But if they can't beat the Texans, and I'm actually very interested in this game just because the Texans, obviously, we know that their offensive struggles, and it's kind of the same thing with the Chiefs, where it's like, okay, if you can come in and get yourself right against the Ravens, then that shows more about the Ravens, inability to stop the run. It's the same thing with Houston. If CJ Stroud is going to be able to remain relatively upright and more so than he has been, that's going to show you everything that you need to know about the state of the Ravens and what they're able to do over the next month or so to try and get themselves back to 500. And then, like, the Texans defense is awesome and they're super physical and they're super fast. And so are they going to be able to kind of neutralize Lamar? And I mean, Lamar went out with the hamstring. Let's see what let's see what that looks like for the rest of the
if that lingers.
Yeah, because obviously if he's not there, then like obviously it's cooked. But like we'll see what Houston has for him.
And what's interesting is Spags was able to shut down Lamar by just doing the same exact thing the Lions did. I don't know, they were talking about on the broadcast a lot. They did this like halfway QB spy, halfway sending 5-man rush thing, where they sent the 4 linemen and Leo Chanel lined up, mugged up over the center. And didn't rush, just stood there, just out of the reach of the offensive lineman because he can't come forward and pass the line or else it'd be illegal man upfield. So he's kind of just like hovering, spying in front of the center. So Lamar can't really see him down the field knowing there's a spy there. So as soon as Lamar tries to push up through the rushing lanes to break the pocket, he's there to tackle him. And the defensive ends are doing a good job holding their contained lanes on the outside so Lamar can't roll out. They're just completely bottling up his legs and his ability to attack downfield while also locking up the Ravens receivers. There were so many plays where Lamar held the ball for like 10 seconds and got crazy good protection, but he's just bouncing around forever because nobody is open. And people on Twitter are talking about like, what is he doing? What is he looking at? Why is he holding the ball? He's looking at his receivers get locked the fuck up. That's what he's looking at. They're getting clamped. If you go back and watch all 22, he's just bouncing around waiting for someone to get open, and it's not happening. And that is exactly what the Lions did. The Lions love man coverage, and the Lions started using that little QB spy thing that Spags took from them. I feel like that's going to be a thing we see every team do now because that's pretty simple to install into your defense.
I have so many like questions.
At the end of the day, who is this like pinned back on outside of like the defense? When are we gonna like actually sit down and look at coaching?
Yeah, that's what people are talking about, right? With the whole like John Harbaugh's always choking. So many Ravens fans are talking right now like we shouldn't have let Mike Macdonald leave. We should have made him the head coach over Harbaugh. And like easy to say that in hindsight.
Yeah.
But yeah, to your point, Ravens fans are pretty fed up with the coaching all across the board.
It's okay, so like
which is easy to say.
So it's like yes, but it's also say that it's easy to say in hindsight because even in those moments, because it's not like the Ravens have won the Super Bowl, in 13 years at this point, even though that they have consistently been there. And so like the year before Lamar won MVP, it was about to be that time for John Harbaugh. Like, Lamar came in and saved John Harbaugh's career in Baltimore. And so if you're starting to get to this point where, okay, these AFC Championship games, like we're not getting the results, we're not getting back to the Super Bowl, we have these rosters, and the defense, outside of the end of last year, the defense has been an issue for like 2.5 years now, where that offense has had to shoulder so much responsibility to keep the Ravens in these games. And Lamar is amazing and he's so good and he's been able to cover up because they've been winning like 70% of their games in that span. But like to get to Super Bowl status, obviously you need both. You need an actual balance, and they don't have that right now.
Yeah, and I don't know if Harbaugh is in danger yet. I don't know if their offensive coordinator is in danger yet. Their defensive coordinator is in danger. Zach Orr is in major danger. He has had a terrible start to the season. They've been running these weird spread, soft-ass run defenses that are getting them gashed on top of the lack of talent up front. Their second unit, their linebacker core, that whole second level of defense, whoever's standing there, has been dog shit. Roquan Smith is getting attacked nonstop. There was one play, I remember, where Travis Kelce came out of a bunch, lined up as obviously as a tight end. He wasn't in the slot or anything. Inline tight end, ran a shallow cross across the field. Roquan Smith is standing there as a linebacker, the guy he has to carry in his zone, and looks so old and slow, letting Kelce run right by him to catch over him. Like, that's on top of the fact that for 2 weeks now, Roquan Smith has been targeted in the run every single time. and Zach Orr is doing a really bad job at stacking the defensive line to prevent these linemen from moving up to the second level. Penei Sewell was just dominating him, and Zach Orr didn't do anything to stop Penei Sewell from getting to that second level. Just continued to line no defensive lineman up over him so he can run rampant. It's just a weird mix of terrible linebacker play, terrible pass rush play, a bad DC that's not making up for that by being creative to not put his players in that position to get picked on. And the secondary just hasn't been as dominant as we hoped it could be. That's why I said I think they win the Super Bowl, because I expected it to be a good defense because the secondary would bring them back to relevancy there. Has not been the case.
That's not Uncoff. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah. So I don't know. This team right now is in major danger, and like they also gave life back to the Chiefs. Like on the other side of this, Kansas City again with Xavier Worthy back, and I can see why everybody forgot, because the last time we saw the Chiefs play a game where they were like fully healthy, they got destroyed. And then this new season starts, and we get 2-3 plays into the season, and Xavier Worthy's gone. So the last 4 games that you've seen the Chiefs, they haven't been this like super explosive thing. And then Worthy comes back, and it's like, oh wow, end arounds are here. Yep. The deep bombs are here. Like Mahomes looks comfortable again. And so now like the Chiefs are back at 2-2. The Chargers lost, so they're at 3-1. All of a sudden, the AFC West is like right back into, competitive mode. It's right back into like, hey, the Chiefs are 2 weeks away from being back in the driver's seat. And
guess who comes back in 2 weeks?
Tell me.
Rashee Rice.
Oh yeah, Rashee
Their
Rice,
best player on offense outside of Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, so the Chiefs are once again, the whole mystique of Kansas City, and like, oh, they're looming, right? They're gonna be in play for maybe the 1 seed. We'll see what happens, especially with like that Buffalo game later in the year. The Chiefs are quote as back as they have. I don't know if they ever like truly left. If I ever like really thought they were like down and out, but like they're back.
No, every time we talk about them, it's been like they'll be fine.
Yeah, if there's gonna be a team to go ahead and run it up on, it is the Baltimore Ravens. If you couldn't go ahead and get back against them and at least drop like 40 on them or 30, which they did obviously, then hey, you're back on track. When I watched this game, I was like so in awe how insanely impactful Xavier Worthy was.
Yeah.
Like, of course, like I always hear about, or I've been hearing about how dismantled and how non-explosive the Chiefs look and all that. And especially like actually locking into these games, the Chiefs have looked so like sluggish. Patrick Mahomes doesn't look like the Patrick Mahomes who I remember with throwing all these crazy highlight plays or anything like that until yesterday. For the first time, I was able to like fully experience it actually in the weeds of things. And Xavier Worthy looked like single-handedly, hyperbole of course, the most impactful receiver in the league. And I don't know if that means like how like in the mud this offense was.
That's what it is.
Or just how much of a spark like Xavier Worthy actually is as a talent.
It's about the lack of stuff around him, I think, more than it is him. He's good. He's good. Very good player. Second year player that should be getting better. But just the simple nature of having somebody that can beat the receiver up the sideline while also being able to be a threat in the flat, while also opening up routes for the rest of the players. Like, they have one guy specialist. Like, Juju can get open in the flat. Tyquan Thornton can run straight. But nobody can do everything and be deployed in ways that doesn't make your offense predictable. Simply having somebody that brings you that level of talent does everything. So once they get Rashee Rice back, who is, like, I don't even know how you describe him. Just short area, yards after catch machine. Like, diet Amon-Ra St. Brown. Having that as a compliment, this team is going to obviously be back to being true contender status.
And the reason why like it's so impactful is because the offense, as bad or non-explosive and boring as it was, they were always efficient because you have Mahomes as your quarterback, and so he's never going to make these like boneheaded mistakes. Yesterday was also like interesting because because the Ravens can't guard the run. God
damn, they made Isaiah Pacheco look like really good, decent.
Like he looked okay. I mean, there was still some moments like any time Pacheco is involved in like he had a decent catch, but like anytime Pacheco's involved in the passing game, I'm like, yo, something weird's going on. Like it's
something in the air is off.
Yeah, it's not going well, but they were able to go down, get their running game going. They got some under center runs, which were working for them in their last game. They were able to get it in this game. The RPO game looked to be back and more explosive, right? They ran one and were able to get a pretty explosive slant off of one of them. They are building back up And for the Chiefs, and I really do feel like once you get to their status of like dynasty status, you do understand that like the regular season is not every game is some referendum, right? You do have to look at them and say, okay, we're building towards something, especially when you are trying to reintegrate Worthy and then bring Rice back in 2 weeks. And at the same time, try to manage Travis Kelce and his miles and see if we can get anything out of Brashad Smith, right?
And
like,
I feel like
all of those things were present yesterday.
dude, hell yeah. And I feel like one of the things that helped like open all that up specifically was a couple of quick or a deep play for Worthy early off in the game. But then outside of that, it was just like a lot of like 3 second for like 2 second type reads that just allowed the offense to like fully breathe, and the defense just constantly was on their toes.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. They're definitely they're gonna win that division still, I think. Because let's talk about the second team in this conference that was 3-0. I mean, in this division, I should say. Let's talk about the Chargers playing the New York Giants in what was the first game of Jackson Dart's career and the first win of Jackson Dart's career. He came out, upset the undefeated Chargers at home in MetLife in a game that I guess the main headline is Malik Neighbors, torn ACL, done for the season, which obviously terrible. One of the best young players in the NFL. Terrible for Jackson Dart, who is now going to be the starting quarterback for the team that has 0 receiving threats outside of Wando Robinson bubble screens, which are great. Don't get you too far. So that's going to be something to monitor as we talk about what this new offense is going to look like with Jackson Dart. But as far as the first game, man, shout out Jackson Dart for winning the game. Shout out the Chargers offensive line for losing the game. Disgusting showing. Joe Alt gets hurt in the first quarter. And the offensive line that was already injured, already bad with Mekhi Becton out and Slater out for the year, goes from being bad and disappointing and not healthy and kind of like something dangling over the head of Chargers fans all year, what could have happened if Slater didn't get hurt, to now Joe Alt gets hurt, and your only 2 starters left are the bad ones that you didn't want to be starters. I just watched Justin Herbert play behind the worst offensive line in the NFL, and it lost him a game.
Yeah, 100%. Because even if you look at this game, like, again, shout out to Dart. He did his thing. Watching him also wasn't like a, wow, he's amazing. It really is just, oh, you have somebody who can run a little bit more than what Russell Wilson gives you. It's like, it's crazy what athleticism can do on a football field.
Yeah.
And so you saw that difference pretty immediately. And like, and they like, listen, like they had, success, especially with him running the ball. Like that duo of Dart and Scatterbo, that's it's going to be fun. Right. However, there's no way that the Chargers should have lost this game, and they did, because that offensive line it's as bad as it could be.
A part of my notes, I wrote down, okay, big takeaways. Lad, terrible. Joe Alt, damn. Austin, his name is Austin Deculus.
Yes, Deculus.
Ass.
That's the worst.
Terrible.
That might be the worst tackle performance I've ever seen.
Dude, he allowed so many pressures and so many sacks, damn near it felt like.
Dude, Abdul Carter was literally just running by him, almost untouched. It was like watching an NFL player play against a high schooler. It looked like it was a different level of competitive sports. And shout out him. They acquired him in the preseason. They traded him. You know what threw him away because they didn't want him? Who gave him away for nothing? Houston Texans.
Yeah.
The Texans offensive line said Austin Deculus is not up to our standards. Go play for the Chargers. And now he might be the starting left tackle for this team for multiple weeks because Joe Alt has a high ankle sprain. So, like I said, shout out Jackson Dart. Didn't really do anything with his arm. Didn't have to. The whole game plan was just run the ball nonstop. And that wouldn't have worked, except the Chargers offense got completely shut down and gave them a million chances with a million good field goal positions to tack on enough points to win. But it was all about that defensive line. Completely wrecked the game. In the same way that the Browns defensive line completely wrecked the game when they upset the Packers. That's a kind of a common theme when you see an upset. Look around. If there's elite defensive linemen and a banged up O-line, that's going to happen. Because actually, it's kind of like a theme across the league this week. If you lose your starting tackles, God forbid both like they did, but at least one,
it's over.
It's pretty impossible to have good offense, especially when you face talented defensive lines.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the Chargers, so now
they're not contenders anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, don't be too sad. I agree with you. But if there's one thing that you could walk away from this game, Marion Hampton is so fucking tough. He's so goddamn good. This motherfucker's elite, bro.
Yeah, he does a very good game.
Everything when it comes to the short yardage shit. He's great at blocking. He has good hands, breakaway speed, explosive plays. Dude, the way he can just bounce inside and out and just like again breakthrough tackles.
Yeah.
Fucking insane.
There was
He's
one
great.
play where he got hit behind the line of scrimmage and it became an 18-yard run because he drug a safety for 18 yards.
Yo, just
It was
hella
crazy.
high knees.
Yeah, shout out to him having a great game. You know what's funny? They got to the last 2 drives of the game where they had a chance to win, and they did not give him the ball once.
Dude, that's bullshit.
Greg Roman, when I catch you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, there's nothing to take away except for the fact that their O-line is completely nuked. It's a high ankle sprain for Joe Alt. That can be a multi-week injury. I'm not sure how offensive linemen recover from that specifically because I don't think you see that a whole lot.
Yeah, but it feels. I mean, these guys are 300 pounds. Like it's tough putting all that.
I'm
weight
assuming
on
he'll miss a month, and if he misses a month, they will go 1-3. Like this, they're playing Washington up next. They will not be Washington without Joe Alt, I don't think, because Jaden Daniels is also coming back, and this team, as you saw by this game, is susceptible to being beat by mobile quarterbacks with how much coverage and how much light boxes they play. Mobile quarterbacks can give the Chargers blues. Good defensive lines can give the Chargers blues, which isn't exactly what the Washington team has, but Von Miller's something. I bet Von Miller with veteran savvy will murder Austin Deculus. So I imagine it'll be Justin Herbert under siege again. There's a point in the second half, he was getting hit every single play of drives. I'm at this point now just worried that Justin Herbert's going to get hurt again because he gets hurt a lot because he gets beat up a lot. It's kind of on Joe Burrow timing. He just plays through it. But that's kind of been why Justin Herbert doesn't use his legs as much as people want him to because every year he has a lower body injury. Kind of worried that's where we're heading again.
So next 4 games, we got Commanders, Dolphins, Colts, Vikings.
Commanders, Dolphins have a good D-line. Colts, sneaky defensive line. Vikings, if
They're gonna
Joel's not
kill you.
back, R.I.P. Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Justin Herbert. Play the backup. Play Trey Lance. Let him get murdered.
So yeah, okay. So 1-3, 2-2 at best. You're hoping to tread water. And,
If Joel is out for the whole time.
yeah, but like,
Damn.
yeah, man, that's tough. That is
It was a
tough.
good 3 weeks. It was a good preseason whenever we thought we'd have the best tackle duo in the NFL. Now we have by far the worst, with Trey Pipkins and Austin Deculus, whatever that
Dude, he's
is.
fucking terrible.
Whatever that is.
Oh my God, man.
Shout out Zion Johnson and Bradley Bozeman as the remaining 2 starters. The 2 starters that were viewed as the biggest weakness of any contending team's offensive line.
Holding it down.
Jeez,
Bradley
man.
Bozeman might be the worst starting center in the AFC. Holding it down. Zion Johnson, one of the bigger guard busts of the last 5 years. Holding it down.
He's looking over. He's like, listen, you got to do it like this. And he's like, man, I'm not listening to you.
And like the Chargers defense didn't even play bad. They played that bend don't break approach and allowed teams to beat you with the run a little bit, and it worked. They got so many red zone stops against that offense because they could not throw at all with Jackson Dart throwing to nobody. Doesn't matter because they got the ball so many times with amazing field goal position.
The Giants at this point in time with Neighbors out, which sucks for a whole lot of reasons.
Oh yeah, they
Won't
gonna
be able
Willis.
to build up that chemistry at all between him and Dart. But it sounds like they need like some type of old veteran receiver. And I think it's OBJ time. I would fucking love to see that happen. I would love to see that happen, man.
What a return. But yeah, and shout out to the Giants DC. They also had a good game plan. They sat on the play action rollouts that Justin Herbert's been killing teams with all season. He likes to run a fake play action to the left, roll out to his right, and get moving and be able to hit his receivers that are amazing operating in space. They just had the defensive end on that side sit on it and play like quasi QB contain because they knew they weren't going to pound the rock because this year they barely run the ball because they can't run block.
Yeah.
So the Giants completely knew that and just sat on all the rollouts, gave Justin Herbert issues early on. Add that to the fact that they could kill them with 4-man rushes after Joe Alt went out. Chargers don't have a chance against anything right now with this line.
And once again, the Chiefs are your 2025 AFC West champions, just like that.
How quickly things change, man. Offensive line injuries, like that really does decide what teams contend every year. Like we look, obviously the Chiefs last year lost the Super Bowl because their offensive line was banged up. Not to say it's the only reason, but it's why they didn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
This is pretty much the story of every NFL season is when healthy, there's plenty of contenders. None of them, hardly ever do all of them stay healthy.
Yeah.
Sad stuff, man. Shout out to Scatterboo, though.
Shout out to Scatterbo's crazy ass. Pour one out for the Chargers in what was a glorious 3 weeks of contender status. Hope for a quick recovery from Mr. Joe Alt to make them be
Please.
puncher's chance at best of making a conference championship.
Scatterboo's up there for one of my favorite players of all time. For no reason. Just insane.
Okay, next game to talk about. Let's talk about Philadelphia versus Tampa Bay. We'll keep this one brief. Well, Donovan, what is your takeaways from watching your team go 4-0?
I mean, listen, for the second straight week, special teams came out, did their job, right? Opened the game with a block punt. Offense looked great in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Passing the ball, right? Throwing shovel passes, they were being creative. It's awesome. And then the second half happened, and we literally did not complete a pass. And that was absolutely insane to watch. But the defense held strong. Shout out to Jahad Campbell. Shout out to Cooper DeJean, one of the best tacklers in the NFL. He's amazing.
Not better than Tarheeb Still.
And also, shout out to Quinyon Mitchell. Emeka Ibuka locked up again. Another victim to Guantanamo Bay. He honestly, yesterday might have been the best game of his career.
Didn't Emeka score a big touchdown?
It wasn't on him.
He did.
It wasn't on.
I know.
He broke. Both
Just to make
safeties.
sure people know that locked up again. Emeka did not get locked up, but did not do well against Quinyon, who played good.
That's why I said Quinyon locked him up. But the Bucks, because again, like Mike Evans Mike Evans didn't play yesterday, and so the Bucks actually really came out and tried to go to Emeka Ibuka a lot. They targeted Quinyon a very decent amount, and it didn't work. He held up extremely, and I say held up like he's not great, but he was awesome yesterday. so that was great. But obviously the story today is the fact that like once again you have a complete half of football where the Eagles don't like the passing game is just not on target. AJ Brown has his tweet where do you have I forget
sure do.
exactly what he
In
said.
my doc, I said AJ Brown tweeting like a Latina.
Yeah,
Here
that
he
was,
is, like always.
that was unnecessary. He says, if you're not welcome, not listened to, quietly withdraw. Don't make a scene. Shrug your shoulders and be on your way.
Shut up! God damn, AJ Brown, shut up!
All right,
What
brother.
is his
All right,
brother
brother.
is flapping about?
Because he's not getting targets.
It's not flapping.
It's
not,
complete flap.
It's not flapping, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay, flapologist.
Do you know what his pin tweet says?
Oh yeah, it's the quote tweet of the
The enemy speaks kindly and holds a knife.
yeah. He didn't actually tweet. He tweeted ironically. There's quotes around it. Let's use context clues, please. However, the reason why it's not flap is because one, so anytime we talk about the Eagles, what does everybody say? They have a top wide receiver duo. They have the best offensive line. They have this and they have that. There's a part in there that is not true. The offensive line is not as great as it was last year. It was not as great as it was 2 years ago. They have had serious issues. And last year, the run game was awesome because you had Becton there. Landon Dickerson was healthy. He got hurt in preseason. Lane Johnson once again had to leave the game for an injury, and so you have two backups on the right side, and Landon Dickerson, who has still been fighting through whatever injury that he suffered in the preseason, and they can't run the ball at all. And so the entire concept of this is run sets up the pass sets up the run. Saquon is not getting explosives. And so if you are not getting explosives, it's like, cool. That's why you have two elite wide receivers to create explosives there. They, at least in the second half, they did not do that. And so that's the frustrating part, is that there's a very clear need for explosive plays to change up the way that you are playing offense, because you have to figure out how do you get around this offensive line issue. And you had literally one half last week where you're down by 19 and you see, oh wow, we actually have to throw the ball to get explosives.
Yeah.
Come back, and then you get to the second half this week and throw it all out the window again. That is the frustrating part about it.
Yeah.
And so that in itself is why, like, this is not just flap by AJ Brown. It is him being frustrated. And I'm sure Devontae Smith, he's just not going to tweet about it, but like, I'm sure he's extremely frustrated too. That's why both of them have extremely valid cases for being upset.
Of course, it's understandable why they're upset. But I saw one tweet that said AJ Brown's the first wide receiver to value his fantasy points over winning. I was like, that's exactly how it looks. He's still tweeting this after they're 4-0.
Yeah.
But no, obviously he has a point. We've been talking nonstop about how this offense is pretty bad and how inexplicable it is that they're 4-0 despite of it.
Yeah.
And just shows you how much just championship equity they have as a top-down great roster that finds ways to win in special teams now, because they're just great at all levels. So they're winning despite the offense being bad. But like in the same way we talked about all these teams not necessarily being the favorites to Super Bowl anymore, I don't even feel great about the Eagles, but they got to be the favorite because nobody else is coming out and snatching it as like a clear super team or anything. So they deserve that praise, but they are so flawed that I'm like, surely eventually a good team will come out and make them pay for this, right?
Dude.
And it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, and it's for all the things like you said when it comes to the special teams, like they're top 10 in turnover margins, which is like a big part of the reason why they're 4-0. But again, like we said, it just doesn't feel like a good 4-0 at all because of how sluggish and nasty their offense has been. When it comes to thinking about like, it's been sluggish.
I
When
would
it
say
comes
that.
to talking about like,
I'm saying like
how
the 4-0 still feels good.
it feels good. Yeah, you
sure.
take it at the end of the day, but it's the 4-0 doesn't hold enough weight when you go ahead and look at how they played offensively, considering they're in the same exact conversations in terms of yardage as the Bengals and also the Titans, who are the Bengals and Titans
and
of the NFL
especially
right now.
because we're just talking about them for the standard of going back to back.
Exactly.
Like obviously they're a great team. You know, they're getting it done. The defense is really good. But for the standards of can we once again win the Super Bowl, because every year is our year when we have this type of all-in roster with this type of all-in financial commitment. I don't feel great about that, but I don't feel better about it for anybody else. So they got to be the Super Bowl favorite still. But it's funny the split of the two halves. It's like not just they stopped playing well. The first half, Bowles was doing what he always does to Hurts.
Yeah.
Blitzes the shit out of him, and they were prepared. Hurts was moving with his feet, getting the ball out to the flats fast, doing all the basic stuff you have to do to beat a blitz and be, a disciplined player. They were killing it. He did a great job there. Second half, they stopped blitzing him and said, okay, we're going to play coverage. I dare you to throw a route over the middle of the field. I dare you to make a read.
Yeah.
I dare you to be a quarterback. Not a single completion. That's hilarious. He's like, let me stop the gimmicks. Be regular. And they're like, stop asking. So stuff like that. I'm like, that's why I'm just like, I do not feel confidence at all in this roster right now with how bad the run game is to supplement that. But here they are, top of the NFL still.
I mean, again, like it's gonna stay there for a minute, and we'll see. Like the upcoming schedule, it is something to where you can see yourself, like you have opportunities to get right.
Yeah,
I am honestly very worried.
Yeah.
Just to see what next week looks like, because they do play the Broncos, and so you're gonna have Surtain man coverage against AJ Brown. I like AJ Brown in any situation. However, I can see a scenario where the Eagles go out and they're like, oh, we have these two great corners in Surtain and Moss. Let's see what happens. But also that should be an area to where if you do trust your guys, you should be able to do it. And also, I really, really do want to defend AJ Brown, because I do think that like the conversation, the idea that he is valuing this like over winning, or like you're 4-0, you shouldn't be saying anything like this. That's wrong for two reasons. One, after every win, and like everybody is gonna say it, but like people come out, I'm happy we got the win. We're gonna go back. We're gonna fix stuff. They say it every week. It's not getting fixed, right? Yeah. So like that's the first aspect, and then two, we're acting like throwing the ball to AJ Brown is anti-winning. We're treating him like he's Quez Watkins, and Quez Watkins is like, yeah, like I need 10 targets. Like, no, that's AJ Brown. Like, involving him in the offense is directly proportionally good towards your offense. So I don't feel like it's something of like it's me over the team. Having a guy like AJ Brown and involving him in the offense, you see it so many times. Every time it does happen, how it affects the defense. So I don't think that he is like being unreasonable or overly diva. I think that he is actually like pressing the issue of something that they have been talking about to try and fix for the better half of like of this entire season.
I know what you're saying, and I agree. It is a problem, but we're acting like he came out here and said something productive. He tweeted a quote about not being able to trust the ops. Like, it's not like he did something productive to like address the team. He's subtweeting his coaches. So like, I agree, he has a point. Like, I'm not mad at him, but it's funny.
Desperate times come for desperate measures. He has 14 targets the entire year. Or 14 catches the entire year. Puka Nacua had 13 yesterday.
Yeah. Right? And I agree. You're right.
And also, shout out to Puka. But
facts.
Different conversations.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. Like they're gonna come out and say, AJ, he's so good. He's so good at being a sacrifice. He's AJ Brown. Like, why are you using him as this like sacrificial lamb? Throw him the damn ball and let's be okay.
No, you're right. You're like 100% right. But I'm not gonna let you sit up here and act like he's being some leader by subtweeting quotes.
You have to. You absolutely have to. Sirianni has proven time and time again that if you let him, he will do exactly what he wants. And so like that has been, obviously we won a Super Bowl last year. That's great. But even last year, Kellen Moore coming in wasn't a like direct like Nick Sirianni saying you're my guy. Sometimes you have to force the issue. Sometimes you have to do it. And if AJ Brown, if this is the way that he has to go about it, because if him standing in front of the team on Monday or Tuesday and just being like, guys, I really appreciate everything that we're doing. I'm here for the team and like I just want to be involved. Shut the hell up! Like throw me the devil. I don't know how many ways that I can say it if I'm AJ. So if I'm him, you tweet. You buy a billboard. I would say go as far as to do what T.O. did because at this point, I like him doing this and the Eagles not consistently involving him. I'm getting scared. You're going to run him out of town because you refuse to throw to one of the best receivers in the NFL, and it is dumb.
What do you mean run out of town?
It's a dumb.
You can grab your pitchforks.
He's not happy, and it's like for what?
He's not.
What do you mean? Who cares? He's one of your best players.
I know.
And it's such a
run out of town. It's not a request to trade.
It's such a simple issue to fix, and it's like we're doing all this hooting and hollering. All you have to do is throw him the ball. And again, it's not like throwing AJ or throwing Smitty the ball is in direct violation or of like the team's code of conduct.
Yeah.
You can win, and it will probably help you win if you do it.
Yeah. Here's the thing. They
That's
probably,
funny as
I
hell.
don't think they're not throwing the ball for lack of desire. I think the schemes suck and they're struggling to get him open. So I'm sure the offensive coordinator's like,
Think harder. Like, damn. Beat Jimmy Neutron. Have a brain blast. Do something. Go watch. Look at what any of the other, like, let's say 20 NFL teams. There's like 12 teams you shouldn't be watching. But I promise you, there's some people that you can go and watch that can teach you how to design a passing offense to where you can involve AJ Brown that isn't go route or slant.
Yeah.
Please.
The only thing about it is that I wish AJ would stand on it and like not gaslight us at all whenever interviews or media members talk about it. Like, if you're gonna do it, like do it full fledged. Don't sit here and try to like throw genuine shots online and then like on the other hand when you're in the locker room be like, oh yeah, none, just like one of my favorite songs or whatever it is, you know?
yeah, it's just they always say. I don't like the quote.
Yeah, it's like, bro, stand on it.
Means
Cause some form of disruption. He's not doing that for real.
He did that before. AJ Brown has been on the sideline reading books. AJ Brown has like in interviews been like, hey, what needs to fix? The passing offense.
Yeah.
Like he's done all the things that you would like say is standing on it.
Yeah.
And that's what
We
this
gotta
is.
keep moving. It's a lot of time dedicated to AJ Brown soapboxing. We have about 8 more games.
AJ, I stand with you. I stand with you.
We have 8 games to fly through now because we get 20 minutes the first 3 since we had to spend 10 minutes defending AJ Brown's right to protest.
That's fucking hilarious.
Next up,
Everybody should have the right to protest. I stand for that.
Rams versus Colts. This was a great game. This was a good test for both these teams that have been among the best in the NFL. The Rams were one block kick against the Eagles away from being 3-0. The Colts came into this game 3-0 and walked out of this game 3-1 because they got belt to ass by Puka Nacua, who has been the best receiver in the NFL so far this season, or at the very least the most productive, given the situation of the other top 2 guys who have iffy quarterback issues to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
Puka has been a man amongst boys. He put Xavier Howard in a torture chamber this week. Completely destroyed him up and down the field. The Colts had some banged up DBs. Charvarius Ward wasn't playing in this game. And Puka made sure to find the worst one that was on the field every time and say, I got him and I'm going to catch on him. And did it every single time. But on the other end, good showing for the Colts. Yeah, I've loved this game as confident as them as I was before this game. Where I've been saying the past 2 weeks, I think they're real. I believe in them. This offense makes sense. Tyler Warren catches everything. He's a beast. They're installed an offense that excels at bringing out Daniel Jones' quick accuracy. He's playing better, smarter football than he's ever played. There will be some regression. Eventually, he'll make some mistakes because thus far he's made 0. And that happened. He threw an interception in this game that was pretty bad in the end zone. He threw a second one at the end of the game that was, end of the game forcing. So I don't really care about that one. But made a mistake that was in part what ended up making them not win this game in a close one. But overall, still played very good against a very good defense.
And like if you're the Colts, you should have won that game.
Oh, for sure.
Except for who? Who made them lose this game?
Dude, you know what this is one of my favorite sayings I'm finding out right now. Not even sayings, words. Lashes. You deserve so many of them. AD Mitchell genuinely like costed them, I'm assuming 14 points.
Yep.
Through this right here, of course, like this is just one of the classic things that every single receiver, every single fans, every single coach is just like worst nightmare. Doing too much, showboating a little bit, and
That's the
just like
problem, though.
fumbling the goddamn game pretty much.
But that's the problem. It wasn't even really doing too much. You're just extending it out like it's not like he's like throwing the
But he
ball.
switched
up.
hands.
You know
He
what
just
I'm saying?
dropped it. Like, it wasn't even that crazy.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that's the part where this play is so tragic because you're not throwing the ball behind you. You're not just throwing it up. You are literally trying to just put it out over the.
But
the
like,
end zone.
why he's switching hands though? Why are you doing that? Looking back and doing so too.
Because he didn't want to get caught. Part of it is he's also showboating a little bit, but it's in a respectable way because like he's reaching across to make sure he scores because somebody's coming on him. He knows he's not gonna get caught, but he's doing it just to like it's just a thing you do, you know. So it's not egregious.
It's
But
egregious when this
I-
happens.
it just can't happen.
It can't
And
happen.
then to double back on it too, when there was this big play that Jonathan Taylor broke loose for a touchdown,
50-yard touchdown called back.
and it got called back because of who again? AD Mitchell holding call.
Yep, because he was late to a block. The DB ran across his face, and it was a block in the back, I think. He like tried to block him inwards and got a block in the back. 14 points erased on behalf of AD Mitchell's brain farts. Very tough. Very tough indeed. Not a good look. That's why they lost the game. Inevitably, it
Yeah.
doesn't happen. Those are swing plays.
Self-inflicted as fuck.
So again, the Colts are a very good team. They went band for band with the Rams, who are one of the best teams in the NFL. I think playing a high octane offense right now. Overall, both teams I think come out feeling very good about this game.
Very quality football, bro. This is a great watch.
Yeah. So honestly, not much to say. We'll keep it going. Shout out the Colts. They are not frauds whatsoever. Daniel Jones.
No.
This is a game which Daniel Jones made Daniel Jones mistakes. Makes a stupid pick. He's prone to bad decision making. It was more than made up for by pretty excellent reading of the field for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I agree, man.
And now they are playing a secondary that the Rams secondary sucks
For
a little bit, and they're pretty susceptible to the exact brand of offense the Colts play, in which they're going to spread you out, make quick decisions attacking the sidelines, where their receivers are going to be able to beat your guys one-on-one and get open, where Dan Jones can deliver it very quickly. So the Rams are a particularly easy lick for that style of offense. So not to say this is like a crazy matchup for them, but it's still a good defensive line, and you held up and protected Daniel Jones well.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, next game, let's talk about my GOAT, Liam Cohen, standing up to
All right.
Meanie Bobini, Robert Saleh, who was saying mean things about him and keeping his name in his mouth, saying he still signs. He shut up in the game and pressed him in the middle of the field.
Why? Did these guys? Okay, question. Did these guys like work together ever?
No,
Or
but
come
all coaches
across?
are like a little fraternity. They all know each other.
Yeah, but this is you were making fun of me in terms of like making up fake demons. This is complete fake demon from Liam Cohen.
I don't know about complete fake.
Really? How?
Robert Saleh complimented him.
Yeah, but it was a backhanded ass compliment. He used the words legal sign stealing. He's like, yeah, shout out to them finding ways to win, but you know, a little dishonest essentially. Because then Kyle Shanahan came out and said it was like, I think it's a compliment. Then they asked Kyle, do you partake in that type of thing? He's like, we don't need to. We believe in the system. We don't need trickery.
And that's Kyle Shanahan standing on himself, and I like that. But
So-
yeah, for Liam Cohen, I mean, listen, whatever demons you have to make up to get you to lead this team to 3 wins, shout out to you. And you can go up to every single coach and say, keep my name out your mouth if the Jaguars keep winning. Because that's the big part about this game is that Jacksonville looked really good. The defense looked good. They were so opportunistic. Devin Lloyd had an amazing game. He was just absolutely everywhere. So
2 interceptions for Devin Lloyd.
yeah,
Who's been great against the run already
you're
this
3-1,
season.
man.
They're 3-1 for a reason. We've been talking about it for 2 weeks now. This defense is quietly one of the best in the NFL that's been completely overlooked. Their secondary has made major improvements. Jordan Lewis brought in has been one of the best nickels in the NFL this season, has been completely locked down, making big play after big play. Devin Lloyd has been one of the best defenders against the run all season. 2 interceptions today,
hell yeah.
3 on the season now. Looking like a 4th-year lead from him. We know the power of their edge rush duo. And just in general, coaching that they've brought in, Liam Cohen and the rest of his staff, it's been excellent. This team is operating on like 50% of their ceiling right now. Offensively, the main weapon they had that was supposed to be their ceiling raiser was a combination of Brian Thomas Jr., who is thought to be a top 10 receiver in the making after his rookie year,
Yeah.
and Travis Hunter, who's brought in opposite him, number 2 pick, expected to be a star on both sides of the ball eventually. Those guys have been very little good for them so far this season.
Yeah.
And yet they're still 3-1. Liam Cohen is the best run scheming coach in the NFL. I feel pretty good about saying that. And Travis Etienne, look at his numbers. It'll show you because he had a 50-yard touchdown today. that was just completely amazing blocking scheme schemed up. Travis had to make one person miss, off to the races.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Liam Cohen. He's the truth.
Dude, he is the fuck Duval. I fucking love this man. And on top of that too, going back to talking about the run in general on both sides, Travis Etienne, he's a fucking demon. Oh my goodness, I wasn't prepared for this type of season at all. And then when it comes to the defensive side as well, their run defense is fucking amazing. And I didn't necessarily foresee this coming at all. They've allowed specifically only one rushing touchdown so far this year, and that across all type of stats, whether it be yards per carry, whether it be just total rushing yards in general, they are one of the best run defenses in the entire league.
You know, no, I didn't foresee either. The 49ers offensive line being one of the worst run blocking units in the NFL. Yikes. That is not a typical Kyle Shanahan offense. Typically, they're built off the run. They're great in pass block right now, great in pass protection. That's kept them in these games. They can't run block for shit. Christian McCaffrey is a wide receiver right now. He's been a great wide receiver coming out of the backfield. Zero running impact right now. And I think Brock Purdy looks
they have no rushing touchdowns in 4 weeks.
Because they can't block at all.
That's so embarrassing.
Yeah, but again, the 49ers are kind of a work in progress. They get Kittle back, who will help in the run game for sure. Obviously, as a pass threat too. If Brandon Ayuk is here for the second half of the season and somewhat healthy, that'll be interesting. Brock Purdy came back. Didn't look great. Looked a little noodle army today, which makes sense with a lower body injury, planting off of that. So, I don't know. Not much to say for the 49ers. They lost Nick Bosa, got ran over by a team on offense. That makes sense. Adds up. The run defense will be worse now without a star lineman there. Didn't get after Trevor Lawrence very much. He was pressured very little in this game. Kind of feels how you'd expect it to go.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so for the Niners, you're 3-1 right now. You have a massive game on Thursday, and this is one of those games where that exact weakness can get exposed because you're going to play against the Rams, and so you're going to play against their D-line. And so you're starting to see really across the board and across the line. We talked about their inability to block the run. Their entire offensive line, honestly, for the last like 4 or 5 years, it's never been great. It hasn't been one of these like dominant units in the league. But you've been able to maintain because Trent Williams is out there on left tackle. He's holding it down. And hey, whatever one-on-one, he can handle that. We can move the line wherever we want. We could be very, very creative. It's not necessarily the case. Like Trent Williams is also, he's had some injuries over the last couple of years. Hasn't been amazing to start the year. So like once your future Hall of Famer left tackle starts to decline, the bedrock of everything that you do is also going to decline in that same way. So I think that like this Thursday night game, it's one where we can see.
Who do they play again?
They play the Rams. And
they're getting throttled.
Rams on a short week. I don't know. Like this, it feels like the Niners need to be extremely careful because this can snowball into some things.
And it's also, this game also was just like sloppy as fuck. This game also shows you how fickle results are and game of inches this is. Devin Lloyd had 2 interceptions off of bounces in the air that he caught. Yeah. And Fred Warner was so close to getting 2 picks of his own that were dropped. And Travis Hunter fumbled, but they recovered it. Like, this game very also could have flipped. We could be having a completely different conversation about how, despite the great running game from Liam Cohen and despite the pass rush, they find ways to lose 2 games they should win against 2 offenses that are missing all these pieces in the Bengals and the 49ers. So I'm not taking too much away from this on either team. The plays that decided just happened to go Jacksonville's time the way this time.
Well, I also think that like Purdy and like for people who, I completely forgot that Purdy got drafted when he first did, but I remember watching him in a couple games at like Iowa State and him making like some wild, just boneheaded plays. And that's,
you remember watching Brock Purdy at Iowa State?
Yeah, because I mean he was in school. I think like whatever. Wow. But he's, especially like with some of the injuries, we've kind of seen that version of Brock Purdy come back where he's trying to make some more stuff happen, and some of those plays are going through. And I put him on. He had one throw. I forget what quarter it was in, but he made one throw where I was like, that's a read that I would make playing college football, right? Like just I'm rolling out, I'm throwing across my body, back across the field, and there are a couple times where he is putting the ball. Like he is making kind of these like wild throws and putting the ball in places where it's very tippable, right? So I don't
very tippable. I mean, isn't it always like tippable?
I mean, like
I mean, there's tip anywhere for anybody who wants it.
yeah,
Mm.
like
Plenty of tip to go around.
yes,
Gotcha.
and so but
Everlasting tip.
But Purdy is like he's making sure that everybody gets a tip. So that's one of those things where if you can cut down on that, maybe we can win some games because like everybody can't handle the tip. So we just have to see.
And like, why are you so eager to give tip? Like, just keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Tip
Next
off.
game we'll talk about. The Sunday night game ended in a tie, 40-40. The Dallas Cowboys find a way to not get blown out by the Packers, not lose to the Packers, not have a
Not win
victory
against
to
the
loss to the
Packers.
Packers, but also not win against the Packers. They find a way to tie the Packers 40-40 in overtime. Dare I say, the best game I've ever seen Dak Prescott play. He was fucking phenomenal in this game. And that's all I got to say about it for real. The Packers, their offense came out to play this time, unlike week 3 when they lost to the Browns, in which their offense was a no-show, got dominated by the defensive line of the Browns. That was a concern. Was, okay, are you going to show his consistency as an offense? Are you going to put up points like you should? You get the Cowboys all defense coming up. I could put up points against them. And they did. They scored 40, which is a humongous amount, but yet they gave up 40 to a CeeDee Lamb-less Cowboys team. And on the surface, that might be alarming because they've been hyped up as contenders because of the strength of their defense by adding Micah Parsons. And it is alarming on the surface, like I said. But then you watch this game, and I think it was squarely because Dak Prescott had an out-of-body experience. I feel like I was watching Tom Brady.
Again, my first impressions of fully experiencing Dak Prescott over the last few years,
That's crazy.
like you would. All right, not really. I feel like
So I got the whole show.
With the way I hear people talk about him over the last, let's say, 4 or 5 years or whatever,
Yeah.
you would think that he's like the DeMar DeRozan of the NFL.
That is exactly how they talk about him.
That's how they talk about him. I'm just like, bro.
Wait till January. Bro.
No, I don't want to wait
till
January.
January.
That is, I'm not.
I got some clips for you.
I don't want to do that at all. Seeing how he's been performing, seeing how like the type of reads that he's making, the type of quick reactions, how like the straight up a bit. He's easily one of the most talented quarterbacks. I don't know how to. When it comes to talent, I would say he's definitely like top 7 most talented in the league.
Yeah.
Easily.
Know what he is? He's DeMar DeRozan in the playoffs.
Yeah.
If DeMar DeRozan played like Jason Tatum in the regular season. That's
DeMar
what he
DeRozan
is.
in the playoffs.
So regular season
Wow.
Jason Tatum, being well-rounded, carrying his team, helping
okay.
them in all these ways, being overlooked. Well, having some warts to his game that make the detractors hate him. But then if he got to the playoffs and just shit himself,
Okay.
that's Dak. Who, Jason Tatum is a top 5 player at his position.
Yeah.
If Jason Tatum didn't have playoff success, he would not get that credit. And that's kind of where we are with Dak. He does this type of stuff. 2 years ago, he was second in MVP because he played like this for an entire season. And that's how this game felt. The way he was operating the quick game, attacking the sidelines with insane precision, beating Pickens against a weak secondary that had cornerbacks outside of Nixon that could be picked on, it was just insane. There was no time for the Green Bay pass rush to even make an impact because Dak just completely diagnosed what they wanted to do every single time. Again, one of the better quarterback performances I've seen all season.
Yeah, Dak was great. Green Bay is also ridiculously foolish in this game.
Especially,
I think like the obvious thing is that they tried to actively lose the game at the end of overtime. There's 20 seconds left there's 20 seconds left. They have no more timeouts. The clock starts running. You get to the line of scrimmage at like 11 seconds, and nobody's thinking spike the ball to set it up. Instead, they run the play. Jordan Love throws the ball, and luckily it hits the ground with 1 second left so that they can kick a field goal to do it. That is one of the craziest things, that you have all of this time and you don't have LaFleur screaming onto the field, spike the ball, or that Jordan Love has the presence of mind to say, we're going to spike. It was insanely overly aggressive. It almost lost them the game. That was one of the most unserious things that they've done really all year.
Yeah.
And then for the second straight week, you were up 10-0 on the Browns and you let them come back.
Yeah.
You were up 13-0 here and then give up the 2-point conversion because they blocked the kick. But you still have a double-digit lead and you blow that again. The defense, like Michael Parsons, up until overtime where he sacked Dak, really wasn't like a massive factor the way that
he got like tripled in like double team for the most part of the game, and I think like what separated his I think he was great still. There's not much you can do when you have a ton of guys.
Yeah.
It's the other guys on the other side of the field who need to go ahead and make some, or his right beside him on the line need to make that impact, and that just like didn't happen. And I feel like throughout the first like 20, 25 minutes of the game, that was happening. Very good showing. Elite defense. They looked like the number one defense in the league, but the second half, it was just a completely different story.
Yeah. And again, sometimes great quarterbacks beat good defense whenever there's matchups to pick on. And George Pickens looked amazing this game, man. Outside of Nixon, the secondary is still weak. They saw Nate Hobbs and they saw a lunch. They saw a buffet. And Pickens ate there every single time he ran a route.
Yeah.
See this left side of this? Those 3 yards, those 3 dots on the sideline? On this, it's not pulled up. There's 3 dots on the sideline of this chart. Pretty sure those were all Pickens, Dick, and Hobbs. Just completely catching on him. It was crazy. And obviously that one in the top right, the 40-yard gain, came at the end of the game. Whenever a crazy-ass play that really allowed them to get the field goal to go up in the game in overtime. Dak rolled out to his right and threw a goddamn bomb to Tolbert, who came back to it and tiptoed on the sidelines. Just a crazy showing, man.
Yeah, Dak was great. If I'm the Packers, though, listen, man, you got to tighten some things up.
Yeah,
because this is back-to-back weeks against teams that really shouldn't be playing with you like that obviously have beaten you and then tied.
Yeah.
And so you've gone 2 weeks without a win.
Yeah.
You have to figure it out.
But also, I mean, it's the Cowboys. They're the most like polarizing team in the league. I feel like they can play to literally anyone's level offensively, obviously. But because of their defense, they could also like lose to anyone as well.
Yeah, I'm not panicking at all. Like after the Browns game was like, offense, show me something. They showed me something. I have all the faith in the world. The defense will bounce back. Sometimes you just get victim to masterclass performances. I do hope Matt LaFleur knows that there's no double overtime, because I felt like the clock management made him think there was double overtime in the regular season, because it looked like he was playing for the kick to keep it moving.
Yeah.
I think 10 seconds left, they were like, Matt, just so you know, we don't get another chance. He's like, oh, word?
He learned new rules just like me. I was like, oh, shit.
But other than that, I'm not. Shout out Dak for pulling this out.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing the tie just was so...
Yeah.
What's the most like age-appropriate way to say this?
Anticlimactic?
Edge.
Anticlimactic.
Yes, exactly. It's like all this for what? And then it's like, bro, like I'm over here, I'm ready. I'm ready to just like fully experience this.
Yeah,
and it didn't happen. And then I went ahead and looked into playoff rules and all that, and I googled like, has there ever been a tie in Super Bowl history? Because that would be the biggest load of bullshit. Then I learned playoff rules.
Yeah, in the playoffs, so keep going. But don't worry, you'll get the load eventually. Next game, ATL versus Washington. Shout out Michael Penix for bouncing back after that dog shit game against the Panthers. And shout out the staff of the Falcons and Raheem Morris for firing the wide receiver coach that allowed Drake London to be used as a pure X receiver, running up and down the sideline, not be moving the slot at all. Complete ridiculous utilization after we saw Drake London become a star last year, in large part because he dominated from the slot. They fired him, and what do you know? Drake London caught like 4 digs this game over the middle of the field, was finally utilized in a wide-ranging array of routes, and their offense looked good.
Yeah, this game also proved why like we think of the Falcons the way that they are. Mm-hmm. This game and then the Panthers-Patriots game frustrated me so much, because once again, I am a selfish person and I could not watch either of these two games and think, y'all couldn't have did this last week when I had y'all -5.5, because the Panthers went out and got their doors blown off, and then if you're the Falcons, you come back and you look like the actual offense that we thought you were going to look like from the beginning of the season. One, Bijan, amazing. His jump cut ability is one of the best jump cuts I've ever seen.
He looks like the best back in football easily this year.
You know what?
Easily.
That's not ridiculous. It's him or Jonathan Taylor so far
this year.
Yeah, that was the only other.
Jonathan Taylor might. It can't be easily because Jonathan Taylor's also been crazy.
You're right. Yeah.
But yeah, those have been 1 and 2 so far.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
since Saquon's washed.
They can't do anything, man.
Since the Eagles suck. But yeah, I mean situation is everything. And the Colts have a really good run blocking. The Falcons haven't had great run blocking every game, and Bijan is still eating as a receiver. Mm-hmm. So he's definitely been the best, like, most valuable offensive weapon as a running back position, I think.
Yeah, most definitely, for sure. Most definitely.
There was one play, he had a big like 6-yard gain where he ran this wheel out of the side, off the sideline at the backfield, where they were in pistol and he just ran out on a route, running to the flats and wheeling upwards. Bobby Wagner was guarding him manned up outside the backfield.
He got caught.
It went exactly as you think it would do. Bobby Wagner looked old as hell. He had to fight over some routes. They ran some like quasi picks where they had the 2 receivers on that side come and cause a little bit of disarray. Drake London ran a drag and got in his way. Couldn't fight over it. Was gone. He looked so slow laterally. Bijan took the fuck off.
Also, counterpoint. the fact that Bijan did not score on that play is ridiculous.
Just got hawked down.
Yeah, which is wild.
Just like Jordan Addison.
It was that was the crazier one. But yeah, I was surprised that Bijan didn't score on this one. Penix also, listen, had some deep plays, had some actual like the things that we thought Michael Penix could do, which is throwing the ball deep and airing it out. We actually saw that. So that's a positive.
And he
sign.
also threw an interception on the sideline, throwing directly at a curl flat defender.
Listen, we're bigging him up right now. We're bigging him up.
That was a ridiculously blind read. The cornerback stood there the whole time. He threw right at him. He thought he could throw over his head or something. Like the guy was 5 feet tall. He was not.
Needless to say, overall improvement. One of the bigger talking points for the Falcons as well is that they brought their OC Zach Robinson from the booth all the way down to the field.
Yeah.
And apparently the communication lines helped dramatically.
Yeah.
Nice.
So shout out them. Shout out Washington playing without their quarterback again, looking pretty good. I think their offensive line held up really well to the 4-man rushes the Falcons were throwing in the first half. The Falcons blitz a ton, and there was times where it broke down and Mariota was under pressure. But I think their line in general did a really good job defending the base sets. So that's encouraging. And shout out Xavier Watts, who I think in the first quarter allowed that goal line touchdown. They put him in conflict, having a drag underneath and a dig on the backside, and he kind of just defended nobody. He was confused and was like, They threw a touchdown to McCaffrey on the dig. Comes back and gets a pick, redeems himself later on, continues to look great for a rookie. Overall, the Falcons came back to looking really good, like we thought after the Vikings game, where we were like, hold on, this team's surprising us. They're really competent. Then the Panthers game happens. Kind of feels like we're back on pace to them. I feel like we can view that Panthers game as a one-off now.
I don't know. With this team, I don't know. I don't know if anything could be a one-off. Yeah.
Maybe next week
they got to prove it continuously.
Yeah, and we will elaborate more on this on Thursday because I'm planning something. But yeah, I don't know if I
don't know what he's planning, by the way. That was ominous.
All right, what you cooking?
It's nothing crazy.
I got some shit up my sleeve.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Deebo Samuel. Once Deebo's looked really good this year.
Yeah, no, it's a great scheme for him.
Yeah,
that I think he was generally talked about as being washed, and like people thought he was just done.
Yeah,
but this is a system that just loves throwing screens, and what do you know? He's still good at catching screens like he always has been.
Yeah, so he's been really good.
And shout out to the offense for not giving the ball to Bill Krosky-Merritt, even though he's on my fantasy team. And I was under the assumption that he would be given most of the handoffs post-Eckler injury. That is not the case. They love Chris Robinson. I mean, well, I said the wrong name twice. They love Chris Rodriguez, even though they gave him a DMP in game 1. Apparently, he's the new Eckler replacement.
Nice.
And I'm sad.
I understand your pain.
And I'm sad.
Yeah.
But thank God Amarian Hampton is back, because that's the one league I need Bill in, and Amarian Hampton is king.
I'm just looking forward for fantasy next year.
Honestly, we'll get to that soon. Jeez. Next game, Carolina versus New England in what was the biggest ass whooping of the week. Man, Carolina is the most perplexing team in the NFL right now.
No, it's not. They suck.
You're right. Never mind. They're not perplexing. They're terrible except when they're facing the Falcons, in which they own them. Bryce Young is the Falcons' daddy. Outside of that, they are just a bad team at pretty much all levels.
And this is exactly what happens. This is what I thought was going to happen last week. And if you're the Patriots, look what happens when you dirt when you dirt.
When you dirt fumble.
Exactly. This is what happens when you don't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
Like it's so amazing what happens when you actually keep the ball for the entirety of your possession, because they didn't turn the ball over yesterday. They were 4 for 4 in the red zone. That is perfect for them. They took advantage of special team stuff. They got good field position like that. If you're the Patriots and you're a Patriots fan and you're thinking about the outlook of the season and really what it was at the beginning of the year, yesterday was, and obviously you're not going to win by 35 every single game, but like yesterday was the embodiment of what you wanted, right? Mm-hmm. You want the team to be efficient. You want the team to look buttoned up in certain situations, win on the margins in terms of special teams and field position and all this stuff, and be able to hit a couple of explosives. Shout out to them, because they, like that second quarter, they took advantage of every single opportunity. They rolled, they got up big, and then they never looked back. So good for New England.
Carolina, man, they have no explosive weapons outside of Ted. Ted played great. Ted looks great every week, and then you look up and he has 4 catches for 60 yards because they just have no offense. So many 3-and-outs. They can only feed in the ball so much with Bryce Young. And they just are such a wet blanket offense right now. They run the ball, fine. They throw the ball, fine. Never results in points. There's so many drives that just get fizzled out. You look up and Bryce is bouncing around for 5 seconds and then throws the ball on the ground by a tight end's feet because no one's open. I don't
And
know.
he's jumping while throwing it too.
It's just bad, man. Nobody
Yeah.
besides Tet can get open down the field. And Bryce isn't at the level that he can like throw people open and be some dominant player in that way. Like, you can't really expect him to. We're kind of past that. I don't know if it's a Dave Canales issue, if it's just a talent issue, which it obviously is that. But I don't know if it stops there. It's just bad. And defensively, they threw all this money to try to fix the run defense. You can still get toted on. The pass defense has some moments against the Falcons when J.C. Horn dominates the game. Still mid. They just don't have a strength, really. Like, what are they above average at right now? What's an above average unit on the team? There is none.
They don't have one.
Don't think about it. There's none. It's just bad. Yeah. And we kind of thought, no, it was. We thought that maybe they'd be closer to average at everything, so they'd be a solid team, and their strengths offensively with Tet would like get them going. Just not the case. There's still way too many below average units. It's very like simple ass analysis. I'm not really saying much. They're just unexplosive and untalented across the board.
We thought that the improvements, or not even improvements, we thought that the signings that they made would make them, like what do we say, like if you can be the like 22nd best defense, or like 23rd,
I was like, if you get to 21st, maybe you can make a push and win 9 games.
And sometimes like we're seeing it with the Ravens. Sometimes you just have bad years where everybody gets hurt. It's the same thing with the Panthers, where like sometimes you spend a lot of money and it just doesn't work out and you're just not ready. And
you just don't get better.
Yeah.
Every offseason, every fan base convinces themselves that their signings or draft picks would be the answer and they'll fix their issues from the year prior. Sometimes you don't.
Most of the times you don't. So if you're the Panthers, have fun battling it out with the Saints, and we'll see.
This is so wildly disappointing. Like, they should be on the exact same type of time. Not the exact same type of timing, but damn near like a step or two behind someone like the Patriots, Like, I found out just now that their average point deficit in losses is 17 points.
Damn.
When they're not in it, they're not fucking in it.
Yeah, and that's what's so weird. Is like there's times they look so good and so normal.
Yeah.
Like the second half against the Cardinals, they walked them down and like got it together. Obviously winning against the Falcons. And then outside of those bright moments, they're just getting their teeth kicked in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so uneven and just so inconsistent. I guess that's what I'm describing is I'm walking around saying an inconsistent team. And a lot of times when you see that type of stuff, I guess it's probably a top-down coaching issue. So maybe I got to sell my Dave Canales stock, who I believed in since he was hired. Maybe that was a poor choice of belief because nothing about this team inspires confidence in literally any way.
True.
I'd never mind one way. Tedero McMillan is the truth. That's the one thing. I hope every single starter on this team is changed out next year except for Tedero McMillan.
Yeah, and at this point in
JC
time,
Horn.
you know how bad and bleak it's gone. Like every week for the last 3 weeks, we've been up here having like Bryce Young conversations mainly, and now it's like for the first time ever, we're just like, all right, this whole team needs complete reworking inside and out.
We spent so much time talking about this team.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with these like middle ground teams that are like fun, nerdy teams. So we talk about them a lot. We don't need to. I think they need to be pushed to Saints territory or Titans territory. We just never talk about them. Damn. Actually, speaking of, let's talk about the Titans real quick. Titans lose 0-26 against
Free
the
Cam
Texans.
Ward.
Dude, Cam
Free
Ward
Cam
is
Ward.
actually he's so good. He's so good. Obviously not just like he's not elite yet or anything like that, but the framework looks like some specials cooking.
It is 11:06 Central Standard Time, Monday morning, September 29th. Brian Callahan has a job right now. 24 hours from now, I'm not sure that'll be the case. So if you're a Titans fan, if you're a member of Brian Callahan's family and you are hoping for his job security, actually, no, Titans fans are not hoping for that. So really just if you're a member of Brian Callahan's family, cherish the next 36 hours. I'm not sure how much longer they'll
Start
be there.
budgeting.
This is one of the worst coach teams in the NFL. It is an atrocity. They suck in every way. They have no team culture in sight, no motivation in sight. Got your quarterback on the stand saying, damn, we ass. And everyone's like, facts. There's nothing. Nobody's upset about it. Nobody can be upset about it. There is little merit on either side of the ball. Calvin Ridley looks like a player that doesn't exist anymore. Nothing about this team is good. I said there's no silver linings with the Panthers. At least I pointed to McMillan.
That's very true.
Where's the silver lining here?
Cam Ward.
Sure,
that's it.
he's number one pick. Like, duh.
Yeah.
Outside of that, there was one play where Jeffrey Simmons sacked CJ Stroud after like half a second. That was cool. Didn't amount to anything. Lost 26-0, but that was cool.
The Texans, I don't know if the Texans, like, their offense has been so bad. And the fact that they scored 26 points, I was shocked.
That's an indictment.
Yeah.
That's so damning.
Because they got to 12-0. And I was like, hey, man, this game might be over. I was like, it might be done here.
Might have to shut this one up.
Yeah. Tough.
Dude.
That's too many words. It's too many.
Yeah,
words.
two shitty teams.
Too many words.
Somebody had to win. Somebody had to win, and I won't even pretend to care past that. We'll see what the
Yeah.
Texans do next week. I would like them to buy back my belief in them. It's not there, and a win over the Titans certainly will not make it be there. Next game, Pittsburgh versus Minnesota, the Dublin game, the 9 o'clock game that I think everybody overslept the first quarter for. I woke up at the end of the first, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot.
Yes.
Watch the rest of the game. Shout out the Pittsburgh Steelers defensive line for once again looking like the Pittsburgh Steelers defensive line after the first start of the season, where it was kind of like, I know they're supposed to be a great defense. Where is it at? 2 games in a row now. TJ Watt dominates the game from the start. And in this game, the Vikings once again deal with offensive line injuries, which has been kind of the tail of their season. After Darisaw missed the first few weeks, he's back now. Of course, in this game, Ryan Kelly goes out, as well as Brian O'Neill, their other star tackle. That's like 2/5 of the linchpin offensive line that made us have faith that the Vikings could still be good with whoever's at quarterback. They could figure it out because the infrastructure was so good. The infrastructure is not good when Brian O'Neill and Ryan Kelly are gone.
Hi, man. Nah, they made me upset. But for Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you picked them one of your picks of the week.
yeah, and it was classic like international game. But Aaron Rodgers looked like the best version of what this version of Aaron Rodgers can look like.
Yeah.
In terms of
Getting the ball out quick.
yeah, I'm getting the ball out of my hands as soon as possible. I'm throwing back shoulder fades and jump balls to DK Metcalf. I'm throwing slants to DK Metcalf.
For 80 yards.
Yeah, like that's the idea. And I think yesterday, whenever the Steelers went and signed Aaron Rodgers, it's because of things like that. It's because of games like yesterday, and you think that you have some guy who's able to diagnose the defense, able to make quick decisions, and keep your offense not only on schedule, but just even slightly ahead of the chain. So that was a very good win for them, especially considering the fact that like Caleb Johnson was playing and not Jalen Warren. And shout out to Caleb Johnson for getting back onto the field.
No, not Caleb Johnson. Kenneth Gainwell was playing.
My
That's the
homie-
real headline.
My homie too.
Kenneth Gainwell went batshit.
What did he have?
Over 100 yards. He
yeah,
dominated. That's a real thing here. So like obviously the Vikings offense got shut down.
Yeah.
Not shut down, but they didn't win the game because the offensive struggles, in part because they lost their tackle.
I did not realize it was that much. I knew that he was like doing everything. I did not
No,
realize
Kenneth
it
Gainwell
was,
was
it was 99 yards.
So like the Vikings offense struggling with Carson Wentz and no starting right tackle, not a big surprise. The Steelers secondary locked in as well with Deshaun Elliott coming back. They look good, so they just beat them there. That's not surprising really. What is surprising is them not having any answer for the Steelers run game with Kenneth Gainwell, who very solid backup. He was moving different today, and mostly because the Steelers offensive line completely obliterated the Vikings.
Yeah.
That was the tail of the game. Is up front, they dominated. They're running the game nonstop, which opens everything up, and then you get things like you were saying. Aaron Rodgers is well protected, gets the ball out fast, sets them up well to be able to throw that haymaker, like that little post they threw to DK Metcalf for 80 yards. Like everything on their offense was helping each other, moving smooth. They were successful in every aspect, mostly because that offensive line completely had victory in the trenches.
I was also very happy to see like how Carson Wentz played, and obviously like it wasn't some like wild amazing thing, amazing showing, but it was something to where I do feel decent about them until either JJ comes back or even if JJ comes back. It's like you can make do with this with the way that he was playing, and obviously Pittsburgh, they were extremely disruptive and they were able to get to Carson a couple times, but if we're looking like for the long-term outlook of this team, and like if JJ McCarthy isn't actually ready, you'll be okay, I guess. With Carson
What does okay
Wentz.
look like?
If your offensive line is healthy, they'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without O'Neal, or like even like if he comes back and just, they continue to have these injuries up front, they really are not built to withstand loss of offensive linemen at all with the quarterbacks they have.
Yeah.
Like some teams are more than others, obviously. Like teams losing their tackles isn't some new thing that happens every year, but certain quarterbacks are able to overcome it. Carson Wentz and JJ McCarthy are not one of those quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Sad
But-
stuff over there.
I mean, I'll look at that. Like if you look at the NFC North right now, and I mean they're 2-2. The Bears are 2-2 now. Everybody is really right around the same mark. You're kind of hoping that like can you get to 2? But I mean Green Bay and Detroit, they look so good right now. Well, Green Bay, whatever. But okay.
Shout out to Detroit for beating the shit out of the Browns. I didn't watch that game. Chicago versus the Raiders.
Wait, one thing. The funniest thing, I didn't watch this last game that we just talked about, Steelers versus Vikings, but the funniest thing that I did see was Jalen Ramsey going ahead and like pulled the hamstring injury celebration. And then later on, actually fucking up his hamstring. Funny as shit.
Karma.
Yeah, funny as shit.
Chicago Bears versus Las Vegas Raiders. The Geno Smith disaster class. Everybody that is on Twitter calling Geno Smith a bum, calling nerds like me who hyped him up over the past 3 years on the Seahawks, saying he's playing at a top 12 quarterback level, top 10 quarterback level. People like me who said this guy is underrated. He's just on a team with bad offensive line play and the weapons are getting depleted. But Geno Smith is carrying a lot. Trust me. All of you who laughed at me and laughed at everybody else like me on the timeline and said Geno Smith is a bum who makes too many bad decisions.
Laugh on.
You won the war because right now Geno Smith looks goddamn terrible.
Yeah.
The idea of him that haters have had is the new reality. His decision making was baffling today. They should have beat this team. The Bears offense played poorly. They got dominated by Max Crosby and the rest of the front seven of the Raiders. Kicked their teeth in up front. Max Crosby looked like the DPOY favorite for this whole entire game. It felt like I low-key saw him single-handedly win this game for them until Geno Smith came up there and said, not if I got something to say about it. Not only am I going to throw 1 interception, not only am I going to throw 2 interceptions, not only am I going to throw 3 interceptions, 2 of them are going to be on the exact same way to the exact same player. Kevin Byard got 2 picks on the same exact cover 2 invert look where they know Geno Smith wants to throw these digs out of the middle of the field on 3rd down. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our deep safety play a cover 2 invert, be lined up deep, and then come up to defend the middle of the field while the 2 corners drop back in the deep zones. He's going to jump that dig every time. And he did it twice in the same look. And Geno Smith failed to diagnose it twice. What is he looking at?
One thing that I wrote on my notes is, what the fuck? Pray for Geno Smith. Nothing wrong with him. Just ass.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with him. He's just stupid.
Damn.
That's how it felt. It was truly dumb as fuck. It was not a good showing from him against a defense that, I mean, those are creative looks. These like cover 2 inverts. I think one was a cover 2 invert. One was a similar hidden coverage, but I think I read that it was actually a cover 6. My eye at first watching, I thought it was the same place. Maybe it wasn't. But either way, disguise coverages that gave him a little bit to diagnose. That is not the first time he has seen cover 2 invert. That is not some brand new thing. He should be able to diagnose that. He couldn't diagnose anything. And shout out.
I'm hurt.
Shout out Genty. That's all I have to say.
And that's why. For the first time, Ashton Genty was able to be unleashed.
Yeah.
And the game gets thrown away because Geno Smith cannot keep the ball where it needs to be. And Ashton Genty has to go into the post-game press conference and act all sad and be like, man, man, I'm so sad, like we didn't get the win. Meanwhile, he's back to the crib like, yeah, I did my thing.
I'm not a bust.
Yeah.
I'm not a bust.
Like Ashton Genty was awesome yesterday.
He was.
And so for the first time all season, first time in a month, the people online who are saying Ashton Genty, he's a bust. He was a Boise State small school merchant, all this other stuff. You can be quiet. This guy is 100% amazing. He's an awesome running back, and this Raiders offensive line is just trash. And it's being compounded. He could have had 5 touchdowns if Geno didn't throw picks.
Yeah,
he was awesome, and so it does like, again, and as somebody who was very high on the Raiders, like 95 or maybe like 90% of that calculus was you're going from Gardner Minshew or from Aiden O'Connell and all these other guys who ever played. You're going from them to Geno Smith, right?
Yeah.
You are getting a massive quarterback upgrade. And that's not the case. You're not getting a massive upgrade because you're getting somebody who's throwing multiple picks in multiple games.
Now,
right what you said about Ashton Genty, he was unleashed. You need to keep Geno Smith on a leash. You need to do the complete opposite. Find a way to contain him.
I will say, so part of it is that I'm opening with this just to acknowledge, as a Geno Smith fan and believer for many years, it's not looking good on this island. But I will also say the Raiders offense is complete bullshit. Chip Kelly is not a good OC right now. He was like brought in and like I think he's the highest paid OC right now. He was brought in on a bag. He's not good, man. Like he sucks. I'm not going to lie. The offensive line is bad, clearly. That's been a big part of why they couldn't get the run game going. Hard to build any offense with a bad line, especially when you want to be run forward and you put your biggest asset of the summer into a running back, and for many weeks you don't get any production there. So with that caveat, I do not understand why their whole offense is run the ball or throw for 20 yards. why it's so big play oriented, and it's worked in times. Week 1 they had 9 plays for over 20 yards, chunk play after chunk play. They have Brock Bowers on their team, and they don't throw short effectively. You know how stupid that is?
They might as well just rest him since he's hurt. Still.
Yeah, maybe he's hampered by the injury and needs a week off. He was there week 1, had 100 yards, but there was a lot of plays where he was on the field. So we did see him be effective when he was healthy. Granted, the Patriots defense was terrible that week. But again, they have a terrible quick game and terrible short passing game with Brock Bowers on their team. You got to be a special type of dysfunctional offense for that to be the case, because he is the ultimate short yardage weapon that is not being taken advantage of. Their concepts up front are really bad in the short game. I don't feel like Geno has anything to look at. They're constantly looking deep, and maybe that's just them playing into his strengths as an aggressive passer. They're trying to build around that. They're building too much into that. That's becoming a weakness.
They're 1-3 right now.
That part isn't surprising to me. The offense being bad while they're 1-3 and their defense almost winning them a game is surprising to me.
Yeah.
Because Max Crosby looked like a Hall of Famer today.
Dude, that was one
insane.
of the best games I've ever seen from a defensive player.
He jumped up, swatted a ball at the line, caught his own pick, while also blowing up every run, getting after the quarterback. Like,
he's been great.
He did everything.
Dude, I wrote down Max Crosby is a multiplier. He's everywhere.
Yeah, Max Crosby looks like the best player in the league right now.
Yeah.
And again, in the same way that Geno Smith tried to lose the game for the Raiders and succeeded, the blockers and the Bears tried to lose the game for the team, but did not succeed. Getting dominated by Max Crosby. So many false starts. At the end of the game, there was a botched snap that the center snap without Caleb Williams calling for it that went to his ankles, fucked up a play, made them. I can't remember if they ended up with a field goal. It put them like 20 yards back from that. Terrible play there. A couple of block holds from Cole Kmet.
Yeah.
A terrible drop from Cole Kmet over the middle of the field. Just terrible play all across the offense this game.
Yeah.
Shout out Rome, though. Rome, once again, 4 straight week with the touchdown. Wide receiver 1.
Once again, nothing looks good on the offense except for Rome and Caleb and their connection.
Yeah.
Which is all we care about as Caleb Williams truthers.
Yeah. Like, these are the type of, although it's like an ugly win.
I'm a Rome truther. That's
one of the same.
Yeah,
that's a
my
good way to
agenda.
be. But ugly win, but these are the type of ones that you need to be, that you need to go ahead and have.
Yeah, salute for not losing the unserious off. Some unserious team has to be on the winning end, and today was you. What other games do we have to talk about that I put on the list of one to talk about today? Thursday Night Football. Seattle Seahawks versus Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, yeah. That was a great game.
That was a fun game. How do we feel about the Cardinals now? As I think we were relatively high on them, as saying like they made a lot of improvements. Back half of last year, the defense improved a lot. We like the additions they made. I think Will Johnson will be a true cornerback 1. Walter Nolan's a good pick. Granted, he's been hurt. Sweat is a great addition to the edge. We think the offense surely has to get better in year 2 with Marv there, right? Like surely there has to be some progression over time. What's the current pulse on the Cardinals?
Right now, I think that the Cardinals are an all-time, and they're a little bit better than this, so this is going to be a little disrespectful, but like whatever S+ tier is for
Mid
or like for the bad teams,
Yeah.
that's what they are. They are not going to be one of these teams that we look at in 5 or 6 weeks and say, oh yeah, they actually can win the NFC West. They actually can.
That's dead.
They actually can do this. I have no faith in them to do that. And as a fan of a team who also has a disgruntled wide receiver, seeing Marvin Harrison almost be brought to tears by the fact that he caught that touchdown is like, yo, that connection takes so much work for them to manufacture stuff. Like on the first play of the game, they throw the screen to him and they said it on the broadcast, and it happened in terms of like, we have to try and get him going. You see him doing a lot of slot fades and a lot of it worked. And there were some really good moments between him and Kyler. I just don't think that combination, there's not enough innate chemistry there for you to think that Marvin Harrison is going to be worth spending the number 4 overall pick, even though that's not even really a knock on like him as a talent or anything. Just like him in this situation.
Yeah.
I'm not really there. Then, I mean, they were shout out to them for coming back. They were also down like pretty heavily and needed some big stuff. I'm not a big Cardinals guy right now.
I'm so done with the Cardinals. I hate this team. They're the worst team in the division. And like we talked about this division before the season, like, as it being the hardest one to predict, that we don't feel good about putting any team fourth in our preseason predictions. We ended up putting the Cardinals third, Seahawks fourth. gigantic mistake. I mean, I don't feel like bad about it because that was hard to pick, but I'm certainly flipping that now. Like the Seahawks look so much better, even outside of this game where they beat them. They have the better quarterback.
They do.
That's shocking.
I feel very certain that I would rather, for at least right now in this current season, in their current constructions, not to say everything in a vacuum. I don't know. I got to think about it more. But for this season alone, I would rather have Sam Darnold.
That's shocking.
With one playing for Clint Kubiak, who I think is a genius, and one playing for Drew Petzing, who I do not think is a genius. So maybe that's muddying up the conversation here. But I think for the rest of the season, Sam Darnold will probably play better than Kyler Murray.
It's not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous to say that at all.
And Kyler Murray isn't even playing horrible all the time. He's just such an inherently flawed quarterback. And I just hate extremely flawed quarterbacks. Like as a rule, like if you can't throw in the middle of the field and if you leave a lot of value on the table in like quintessential, I need my quarterback to provide value in these ways, I have very little patience for it. You need to have your strengths be clicking on all cylinders. And I do not feel like that's been the case for Kyler Murray.
It hasn't. And you saw, the pick that he had early on in the game was like, damn, like here we go again. It's just another one of those things where you see the replay and it's like, yo, like what's the read here, right? We're like,
the one where you throw to Marv?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw.
Because like,
what quarter
the
was
route.
Did you see
died,
Kurt
kinda.
Warner's explanation of that?
No,
Why
I
he
didn't,
thinks
didn't see.
it was a pretty good explanation. He thinks that it's hard with receivers getting used to playing with running quarterbacks because on that play he sees Kyler Murray have to bail out of the pocket and rush, which he does the second there's any pressure because he knows he has legs and can make people miss. He bails out of the pocket, so Marv sees that and thinks, "Let me stop, turn around, move with him to go relocate with him." And they're not on the same page because Kyler Murray doesn't want him to do that and throws it to where he should have been before stopping to relocate with him.
Gotcha.
So it's like a lack of chemistry. That's very hard to build that chemistry with any running quarterback. Kyler Murray is the most erratic rusher in the fucking world for that type of reason, where he doesn't have the feel for, if I'm going to start moving out here, expect the receiver to do that too. And we're going to move together. He moves and thinks everything else around him exists in a vacuum and he can throw it to where people were before.
Yeah.
Like they're just going to keep moving. When in reality, everyone else is going to be like, oh, fuck, what is he doing? And like he doesn't like feel that connection to the rest of the field.
He feels like the complete opposite type of quarterback compared to someone like Sam
He
Darnold,
is.
man. Like
Yeah.
Sam just seems like the most composed dude through any type of pressure that's faced against him, and he like looks OD like just collected,
Yeah, he's been really good
Like
navigating the
he's
pocket.
controlling the pocket. He's controlling the game genuinely.
And he doesn't even have a great offensive line either. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's been a strength. I think he's done a really good, honestly, in the same way Geno Smith was doing as a Seahawk, where they're really good at, as a line breaks them down around them, being able to stay cool, collected, and make the play under pressure, which probably is the reason they targeted him as a replacement because they knew they'd have some pass blocking issues. And they said he has the same strength, so he can also make up for it in the same way Geno did.
Yeah.
And that's what all of us who doubted the move didn't see coming because that wasn't necessarily a calling card of Sam Darnold's for a long time. But he's improved now that he can also do that same thing Geno did.
Facts.
Hyper efficient, man. And their defense also fucking hellacious.
Oh, of course. Yeah. And with Witherspoon still coming back, that defense is going to be great.
Yeah.
I love watching the Seahawks. That JSN is truly elite. The Kenneth Walker, truly elite. Sam Darnold playing really, really good. We know what their defensive front can do. We know what their secondary can do. That's a complete team right now.
Yeah, I mean they missed the playoffs last year, but they won 10 games and they lost on like I think like a 6th or 7th tiebreaker.
Yeah.
And so this team it has the bones, it has the infrastructure to do things. Yeah, I just didn't believe in Sam Darnold. And you know what? You got me.
Yeah.
You got me. I am a fan now. Like,
Yeah, me too. I love watching Sam Darnold now. It's a crazy sentence. And I didn't believe in Sam Darnold because I didn't believe in the situation around him being... I thought he was going to be very situational dependent. I didn't think Sam Darnold was like the worst quarterback in the world, but I think we've seen him succeed in Kevin O'Connell's system with Justin Jefferson, a good running game, a solid line, like all these things that I was like, I don't know if I can just assume he's going to carry that over. I should have assumed he carried that over, and I should have gave the Seahawks infrastructure more credit because it's a good infrastructure besides the leakiness on the line.
Yeah, I agree.
Which honestly, the leakiness on the line has been a bigger issue in the run than the pass anyways. He's not getting killed or anything.
No, but that offensive line has had issues for years.
Yeah, exactly.
They've never been able to fix the O-line.
Shout out to
Quality
Seahawks,
team,
man.
man. Quality team.
Good
Sam
job.
Darnold is cheaper and better and younger than Geno Smith now.
What a move.
Seahawks fans, you have been vindicated.
Yeah.
You got me. All right. You win some, you lose some. You got this one. Fuck. With that being said, that is the last game I want to talk about of this slate. It's now time to end the show. By a couple other segments we're going to do. First thing is, though, we got to do our weekly House Call Fantasy Football League check-in. And we have to do this week's fantasy football check-in by telling the story of Mr. Mojo 99's team. When this fantasy draft came around, Mo made some mistakes. Drafted Braylon Allen in the 4th round. Ugh. Tough, but we're not done yet. Drafted Austin Eckler in the 5th round. Ugh. Tough, but we're not done yet. Drafted multiple tight ends in the top 10 rounds. Okay, we might be done now. That might be fucked. But maybe we can make moves as the season goes on. We can figure this out. We get to week 2. Austin Eckler's knee, or his Achilles, snapped. We get to week 3. Najee Harris's Achilles, snapped. You're down your 2 running backs that you picked up high. You get to week 4. Malik Neighbors' ACL, snapped. Your team is dead.
I'm noticing something, and I think my fantasy team and whatever I did genuinely like disrupted something with the football gods, because I've never seen such an insane injury curse ever. And
What makes it worse?
go ahead.
The day before you lost Malik Neighbors, you traded me, Drake London, on the assumption that you'd have Malik Neighbors and you needed running back depth. So you had to make some shit shake because you were going to lose every week. So you were betting that Drake London was going to continue in his slump. And you were betting that Dave Montgomery was going to be safe and hoping that RJ Harvey one day gets the job because J.K. Dobbins gets hurt. And you'd have some solid running backs to pair with Malik Neighbors.
I didn't see this.
I should have hold still.
He offered me this, not the other way around. We had back and forth for a while. I gave up. And the next morning, I wake up to this in my DMs.
Yeah, so I did this assuming that it was fucking over for the Falcons. Getting shut out 0-30 was ridiculous. The timing of this
He sold low on Drake London.
made everything so much worse. If Malik Neighbors was like still healthy and all that, then I don't feel necessarily too bad about this because my team is thus more like well-rounded. But with my number 1 pick going out, and then on top of that too, Drake with the news of the Falcons firing their offensive coach or firing their wide receiver coach, killed my season.
Like Kenny says in the chat, because there's like a chat log after stuff happens, he said, happy to see a trade happen. He didn't say good trade. He said, love to see action.
Man, this is like the worst week that's ever happened to me, bro. Considering I made the trade, sold low on Drake London because I needed back so badly. Just for 2 days later, my number 1 wide receiver to be out. And right when someone like Drake London could be the most useful, had the best game of the year.
Wait,
None
so
of it mattered.
did he score 60 points this week?
Who?
I scored 67.
Oh my God.
And then on top of that, too, what made this even worse is that I didn't realize you accepted the trade until it was fucking too late, and I couldn't start Montgomery. And I had Romeo Dobbs, and I'm just like, well, I'm like, fuck, man.
So he didn't say, you started RJ Harvey? Oh man, maybe he goes sicko mode.
It was too fucking late.
Maybe if he scores 24 tonight, you can still win. Actually,
No.
never mind.
It's over. It's over.
Carson has players left. Never mind. He has Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
You're fucked.
It's over, man.
Oh, you have a blank wide receiver. Okay, you need to lock the fuck in. You have 2 empty slots.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to lock the fuck in.
Yeah, exactly. I completely forgot.
You-
and I was
Oh, brother.
too late typing in.
He left Romeo Dobbs on the bench.
I know. Yeah, I know. It was by the time I tried to move him, it was too late.
Yeah. Okay.
Too late. So I fucked myself in every way imaginable.
2
And this
empty
was
slots.
easily the worst week that anyone could ever have on fantasy.
Bro. Drop Okonkwo. Why are you still starting?
He had a good week last week, man. It was decent.
And naturally, with that trade happening, that means I now have Drake London on my team. And I scored 142 points. And I still have, who do I have tonight?
Justin Fields.
I still have Justin Fields tonight, who I picked up because Jack dropped him for no reason. So that was
What?
nice. Don't know why. I picked him up to replace my injured Jaden Daniels in the IR.
Oh, you were on the... I need to be on the drops. I need to see who's available, man. Fuck, man.
So I now have Puka Nacua, who gave me 36.
Jesus
Amon-Ra St.
Christ.
Brown, 26. And Drake London, 26. 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have helped Pac, man.
Good job, man.
I was dead last. I needed to make a move. The pressure was on my back.
Also, I said good job to him, not you. You bad job. Bad job.
My second straight 160-point outing of the
I
season.
panicked. I needed to move.
Let's
I
talk
needed
about
to do
Donovan's
something.
team. Let's see what's going on with Donovan.
Yeah, man.
Did you win a game this week? You did. Shout out you beating Joel And
on.
you have Hurts, Gibbs. You started Nick Chubb. Tough. You got his chain snatched. Marvin Harrison. Shout out that touchdown. Zay Flowers, Bowers, Downs, Ridley. You got to eject Ridley into the sun. Okay. How are you feeling about your team?
I feel good now that Jordan Addison is back.
Yeah.
He will be in the starting lineup coming soon. We talked about it about running a heavier personnel, about running 12 personnel last week. I do think that's going to be more in the game plan next week. I do think Hunter Henry is about to get the start.
Mm-hmm.
So we will be running Bowers and Henry with Jordan Addison. So the skill position players, we're coming along. I feel like we're still maybe about a move or two away, but we are holding still.
What are you prepared to do about this running back 2 slot?
I don't know, but I know for damn sure it's not trading you Jahmyr Gibbs.
Hey, I got some moves, man.
Isaac has texted me multiple times over the weekend asking for Jahmyr Gibbs, and I'm letting him know my Pookie is staying on my team.
What did I send you?
You sent me a Migos song asking what the price.
Great song.
Oh,
What's the price? I need to know. Yeah, you might have to trade Brock Bowers, huh?
Probably. That's probably going to be it.
Tough. I'll give you Tucker Kraft and Troy Franklin.
Let's talk after. It's not terrible.
Well, we'll see what Troy Franklin does tonight. If he goes crazy again like he did 2 weeks ago, never mind.
Fucking miserable, bro.
Yeah, that's the league. Mo is destined for last place.
Like nothing is going towards my way at all. Biggest learning lesson is I shouldn't have panicked for being last place. I should have held still, and I should have let my strategy of just having like 2 top high-end wide receivers like try to carry me. My moves make sense initially when you look at it when it comes to like you cashing in. Things are looking good in Atlanta because Michael Penix like wasn't connecting in their offensive coordinator scheme and just all around was terrible. I should have held on to my cards, but I take this as a learning lesson. Next year, this year, fuck this fantasy. I'm not giving up completely. I'm still gonna try to not be last place. But next year is the year for me. I promise.
We'll see if you can find that last place.
Who's gonna get injured this week? I hope no one. If someone does get, I'm deleting. Can I delete my account?
Because it's good for the league.
Clearly, I'm the problem. Yeah. Drop all my players. Someone else gets injured. Watch me.
For the long-term sake of everybody's career.
Yeah,
drop
man.
Everybody.
This is crazy.
Do you have any Chargers on your team? If so, drop them now.
Let me pick some up right now.
Okay,
No,
next thing we're
man.
going to do. We got to talk about the winners and losers of week 4 of the NFL season. You guys know what we do? We get up here, pick the 5 or 6 players that won, 5 or 6 players, concepts, teams, whatever it may be that lost. Donovan, what is your first winner of the week?
The first winner of the week is the bank account of special teams coordinators.
Again, once again.
Once again, every single week, and we have started to see a trend week in and week out. If you can block a punt, if you can block a field goal, coaches are clearly seeing something that is letting their players know, hey, this is an advantage. We can get somewhere. We can win games on the margins. That doesn't even feel like a margin anymore. If you can coordinate a good special teams, I got some money for you.
Okay, my first winner of the week, SEC frat boys.
Whoa.
Jackson Dart is here. Jackson Dart is 1-0. Douchebag culture is up. They have their
Douchebag
Messiah in the NFL.
Yeah.
Bro, they're going to be insufferable.
Hey, insufferable for so many reasons, bro. Again, my winner. Doubling up. Let's go ahead and double up douchebag culture. Scatterbo and Dart. Best white boy duo that the entire NFL has to offer.
Yeah, white culture is up right now.
Must see TV for all the wrong reasons.
And let's triple down on douchebag culture and white boys are up.
yeah.
Aaron Rodgers had himself a day out there. Looked good. Had all the quick passes. Had all the deep bombs. Got a win overseas. Shout out.
Shout out. If you're still here, come and shout out douchebags.
Hey, Matt Crosby had himself a fucking time, bro, as well. Did end up getting hurt, but boy, he had a game of the century.
I'm sensing a pattern here. Damn, it's a bad time to be alive.
It's about to be white boy winner. It's going to be crazy.
For real.
But really, Giants fans in general are winners just because they have life. They have something to cling on to. They won't be good this year. They lost because they lost neighbors, obviously, which sucks. But they have a quarterback and they have a running back that is at least fun. And when you're a bad team, it's so important that you have fun to look forward to every week.
Absolutely, I agree. They're the biggest winners, honestly.
Yeah. And like, did Jackson Dart throw down the field once at all? No. Did he make any good reads? No. But he ran the ball and he had moxie. And that's all you need to get a win whenever your defense is dominating like they did.
Moxie takes you so far.
So far. People don't understand that.
They don't.
We need more Moxie in the league.
I like the kid's Moxie.
Why do you think Baker Mayfield is such a goon? Moxie.
Or
He's first team all Moxie.
Oh, he invented Moxie.
Yeah.
Don, who's the next winner?
The next winner is Receipts because Liam Cohen kept him,
He did.
won the game, and then ran up on Robert Saleh and said, "Keep my name out your mouth." I was surprised he didn't put hands on him, but nevertheless,
putting hands.
Have you seen Robert Saleh? You're surprised? Robert
Oh, that
Saleh is
motherfucker's
huge.
huge.
No,
Yeah,
that's what Saleh told him. He's like, "Dude, I will kill you," and I believe it. I believe it. Robert Saleh has like 7 kids to fight for. Like he will win.
His forearms are nuts.
But shout out to Liam Cohen because listen, anytime you feel slighted, make sure that in your mind you wronged that right, and he did that.
He did.
He went on the road and won that game. I like that.
And for Jacksonville fans, shout out having a coach that will set the tone himself.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you need. The culture is back in Jacksonville. I shouldn't even say back. Culture is here for the first time.
Exactly. He's never been there.
For the first time, you have somebody real at the helm.
Duval.
And keep my name out your fucking mouth. As a combination, it's tough.
Hell yeah.
My next winner, rookie running backs. All had a terrible start to the season.
Hell
Everybody
yeah.
was on fantasy Twitter, doom and gloom. Oh my God, all these busts. All went batshit today. Genty, 3 touchdowns. Hampton, 150 yards.
Goon.
They
Killed
all
them
went
in every
nuts.
single way.
Judkins came in, no training camp, walked in, starting running back, running over everybody.
I like that. Okay.
My goodness, bro. My next winner, Puka Nacua. Good God, he's the best receiver so far in this NFL season. He looks unstoppable in every single way imaginable.
Dare I say, offensive player of the year?
Easily
It's not off the table at all.
It feels like it's on the table entirely. It feels like if the season ended today, it would be a unanimous victory.
It is the table right now.
Mm-hmm.
It is the table.
He's clearly tier 1, I think. Or at the very least, the top of tier 2, if you want to keep tier 1 just the top 2 guys. He is the 3rd best receiver in the league to me right now.
Easily.
Yeah, he's for sure playing like it. He's oh my goodness, he's dominating.
And with the stuff he does in the running game, the versatility, he's still like he had some catches vertically, catching on people. Like he's the most well-rounded guy outside of those top 2.
What do you do to stop Puka? You can't.
Pull
You
chair.
can only hope to contain Puka Nacua. And that's it.
Brass knuckles.
My next winner, Jerry Jones' mental health.
Oh my gosh.
I bet you that old man was sweating in that suite. Thinking, are we about to lose this game?
I hate how much they panned the camera to him. You right, he was sweating.
He was just, oh my goodness.
I hate it too. I'm tired of looking at him. It's not a pretty sight.
Yeah.
He was looking mad geriatric in the suite. And again, while it's not a win, it's not a loss. And I can take that against my now enemy, Micah Parsons. If I'm Jerry Jones, good for him.
My winner, I wrote down Dak Prescott. Or like you said, not winning, but also not losing.
Mm-hmm.
He played phenomenal and did not lose the game, which will not be able to be said that many more times in this season for the Cowboys.
Hell fucking yeah.
But also, I think it was one of the best games of his career. Dak was completely lights out in every way, made 0 mistakes, which is obviously always a question mark with Dak. He's going to look real great until he doesn't. Look great the entire game. Pick that team apart top to bottom.
They give up 37 points to the Giants and then 40. They've given up, what is that, 77 points in 2 weeks.
Damn.
Jesus Christ, man. That sounds disgusting.
Oh, wait, no. And between that, the Bears also went sicko mode on them. What did they end up scoring?
I forgot.
The Bears did
They
go
scored
like
31.
31 or something.
Damn, it's like 110 points in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I completely put that beat down out of my mind. Wow.
Yeah, they are
Yeah, it was
food.
like 31-15 or something like that. Damn.
So once again, like I said in the preseason, I implore you to bet the overs on everything related to the Cowboys offense and everything related to an offense playing against them. I said draft CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens in fantasy. Half of that has been good advice.
I like that. True.
Also, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens gave me 34 points in our redraft league with our college friends. Walked Coffee's ass down with George Pickens. Walked him down single-handedly.
Love it.
Is that all the winners?
Last winner, Stephon Diggs. He finally made an appearance. He finally got comfortable in this offense. Shout out to you.
He got 5 out of 10 comfortable. That's what he got.
Yeah.
You see that quote? They asked him what his comfort
Oh, yeah,
level
he
is in the
did say
Patriots
that.
offense. He said about a 5 out of 10.
L or farming though, for sure. Not good.
It's such a weird response. 5 out of 10. It's like, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, that's honest, I guess.
Yeah, thank you.
Shout out Stephon Diggs for being honest. Who's our biggest losers of the week?
Biggest has to be Geno Smith. My goodness. So far throughout the first 4 weeks of the NFL season, he's thrown a remarkable 7 INTs. Holy shit.
Geno Smith's a big loser. NFL nerds like me are the bigger losers. All
Damn.
of us spent these years defending Geno Smith, saying he's not an idiot. He doesn't make too many mistakes. He's just aggressive. And sometimes aggression, you got to deal with
It's
the warts that
needed.
come with
It's
it.
warranted.
You got to do it. You get some INTs are good INTs. These are bad INTs. These are horrific INTs. It is not a good week to be somebody who likes to defend one Geno Smith.
That's fair. Another loser, Adonai Mitchell.
The biggest loser. This week.
Maybe the loser of the week. Cost your team 14 points in a game to stay undefeated.
One of our friends in our group chat said, I hope that decision wasn't career ending. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then I thought about it. Hey, man.
You think they will cut him?
No.
Now,
But
mind
will they
you-
ever trust him again?
Mind you, he said, I hope that wasn't career ending after the botch touchdown. And Isaac was like, no, it's not that. And then he wiped the Jonathan Taylor touchdown off the board. It's like, okay, that one might have been that might have been the straw.
He might be in the doghouse forever. Damn. I didn't know what's so tough about that.
Him and Anthony Richardson have to be lighting scout team on practice. They have to be going crazy.
You know what's so unfortunate?
What?
It became the worst moment of his career. Off of what should have been the best because he burnt that corner. It was
Dude,
a great
that highlight
touchdown.
is crazy, man.
would've
That
been a-
spin-off was insane.
That would have been oh my God, Adonai's here.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, now he should never be here ever again. Fuck. Biggest loser, Ravens believers. Once again, my agendas are crashing and burning before my very eyes. After the Geno Smith believers died, I am one of those. Now the Ravens defenders die. I am one of those. It's not a good day for someone like me who thought this defense would be good this season. And not just good, great. This defense is terrible. They are easy to run on, easy to pass on. They don't run the balls particularly well. They don't protect Lamar particularly well. They are just not a great team right now against other great teams.
Yeah, if you're a Ravens fan and if you've been like hooting and hollering about how your Super Bowl odds are top tier this year, you are the favorites, which everyone thought you were. Now you have to walk outside with a paper bag over your head. You can no longer show yourself proudly just yet because you got smacked up by every single contender so far.
Yeah, I think probably get a swirly or something.
Swirly.
Yeah.
Or we could like
Wait,
shoot spitballs at him from now on.
Oof.
I haven't shot a spitball in
Dude,
forever.
it's so funny. Back when I was like 12 years old, I used to be a bastard and I would shoot spitballs in the bathroom every single time at fast food places. Every time.
At fast food places?
Yeah, like
Disgusting.
I'd be at McDonald's and I go to the mirror and I'll just shoot hella spitballs.
That's crazy.
You're a child.
Next loser, Justin Herbert's ribs.
Ah.
They're about to get beat up for the next 3 weeks while Joe Alt is out, and the Chargers have the worst offensive line in the league.
Not just the worst offensive line in the league, the worst offensive line in the NCAA. It would be the worst in any organized football organization you put them in.
NCAA?
That might be the worst offensive line in Texas 6A football. It is that bad.
It's so tough because how quickly things change. Coming into this week is like Justin Herbert's playing the best football of his career. He's on MVP watch. And then now you lose to the Giants, you lose your offensive line, and it's like, oh man, well, it's about to be cooked.
And now we're relying on Austin Deculus to protect him.
Go to hell.
Fuck.
Go to hell, man.
So you wrote Justin Herbert. I wrote
Yeah.
offensive lineman injuries in general as the biggest loser. So many offenses are getting destroyed by losing a tackle. The Bears offense, terrible without their right tackle. The Vikings have lost both tackles for parts of this season. Their quarterbacks are in hell. Justin Herbert, everybody that loses a tackle right now, just drowning.
It's terrible. Y'all need to go. Just come over here to Stoutland University. Another loser, team chemistry.
Damn, yeah.
When you have your star wide receiver tweeting out, listen, I just, don't say anything. Just be quiet and withdraw. That can't go well. And so obviously,
Dude.
AJ, we're praying for you.
Yeah, I got another loser too. Saquon Barkley, he went as far as to reach out to Adrian Peterson about how his run game hasn't been working. Whether it is not you, it is them. It has nothing to do with you at all. There's no amount of soul searching that you can do at all. It's them.
Suppliers, it's not your fault. It's the coaches. It's also the offensive lineman's fault. So maybe it's the player's fault. Last one I have. I think the Carolina Panthers have kind of transcended their fans being losers. So I wrote Panthers as a cat. I think big jungle cats were losers this week.
The whole species,
Yeah.
the whole genus.
From simply being associated with Carolina,
Yeah, if you're a big cat, you're down right now.
that's an astronomical amount of ass.
Sorry,
Wow.
T'Challa. Everybody associated with the Panthers. Got you dead.
said T'Challa.
Nobody wins.
You're stupid.
Nobody wins.
T'Challa.
Oh man. Oh, also my bad. I gave Adonai Mitchell too much credit for being the biggest loser. He is co-biggest loser of the week with Brian Callahan.
Yes.
Brian Callahan, once again, honestly, we're just going to pencil him in every single week until he's no longer the coach there.
I am betting by the time you watch this video on your TikTok feed, on your Shorts feed, he is fired. I'm betting that by the time this comes across your feed, he will be gone.
Because what he's doing to Cam Ward, this is what I'm talking about when I say you ruin players. He can ruin Cam Ward.
I wrote Cam Ward as my biggest
Get
loser.
him away from him. Get away.
Stop! You're hurting her. And that's all the losers I got today.
Free Cam,
Get off
man.
of her.
That's crazy.
Last thing I want to do before you get out of here.
These dudes be having full football teams, man. Get off of her.
I'm going to name an NFL team, and I want you to tell me from 1 to 10 how disappointing their season has been for you.
Okay.
First off, the Baltimore Ravens.
10 out of 10. Disappointing? Absolutely. Not only you blow the first game of the year in historical fashion,
Choke.
and then congratulations, you beat the Browns.
Yeah,
I guess
drop 40. Nice.
I guess that's good. Then boom, get your chain took on Monday Night Football. You went to the store, got it repaired. Boom, got your chain took again by the Kansas City Chiefs. Now you want
They're running trains on your chain.
Now you are 1-3. Lamar Jackson has a hamstring injury. Everybody's hurt. There might be a crab leg shortage in Baltimore. I don't know what's going on. It's tough.
I picked them to win the Super Bowl. I'm so fucking stupid.
Lamar, go put some Old Bay on the hamstring and start playing, man, because they need you.
Not just that, man. Go get Ray Lewis out of retirement. That defense could use all the help they can get.
He's ready.
At least have
He's
him like on the sideline just yelling, bro. Do something on the goddamn field.
He's been training for this moment.
And he'll do a better job than Roquan Smith right now, I guarantee it.
So I flipped one card. It was a 2. I did 2 push-ups. Great.
The Houston Texans.
1 out of 10. Actually, no, still 0 out of 10. They should have gave the fucking Titans 35. That should have really been it.
26, nothing wasn't enough?
Nope, should have been 35 bare minimum.
So 10 out of 10 disappointment?
10 out of 10.
I'll go like 6 out of 10 because like I did believe in them, but it was always in the back of my mind that it could go like this. And so at this point, I'm more disappointed about the overall situation rather than like this specific season.
Yeah, because it was predictable. I'll say 6 out of 10 as well. I thought they'd be good because of their strengths, but I knew the offensive line was a weakness. I assumed Nick Caley would be better than their previous offensive coordinator. He is not. So we knew the weaknesses were there. We just thought they could overcome them, and they can't.
And it really is like, again, you're 1-3 now. Okay, fine, I guess. But you let it get this bad. And I don't know how you can live like this.
Yeah.
There was this one play. Actually, I'm dropping my score. This is like still a 12 out of 10 disappointment still because there was this one play. This is based off of one play only. Where CJ Stroud, they went ahead, snapped the ball. He immediately got tackled. The defensive end on the Titans end just immediately ran through everybody. He didn't run through anybody. He was untouched.
It was up the middle. It was Jeffrey Simmons. He ran right up the middle, ran right past the center.
No pressure. It's like they cleared space. Like, come here, brother. You got this.
Yeah.
But he's like, excuse me. Yeah, you got this. And he hugged CJ Stroud. So embarrassing.
Miami Dolphins.
Also like a 4 out of 10 just because I kind of thought that they wouldn't be good this year. We tried to give them as much possible respect as we could, but it's another situation where in the back of our minds, we knew, hey, it could go south pretty quickly, and it's looked like it's gone.
They didn't go south pretty quickly. It began south. They began south of the border.
They were already in the
yeah, they were in the gutter and just didn't take a step out.
It's so funny seeing everyone talk about over the last year, going back and like doing my research on the discourse and conversation around like how bad their offensive line and how they're like damaging Tua. And now everyone's like kind of surprised, like, oh, damn, Tua's cooked. I wonder why.
Maybe the repeated head trauma had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Maybe the lack of trust in your body and your line had something to do with it.
I wonder why.
Yeah. Oh, that's the end of the episode. If people are still here, what should they comment? Comment sorry, T'Challa. And we'll see y'all. And we'll see y'all on Thursday for another episode.
Ruining the stocks of all black cats.